popular fighter. I'm not a DC fan. I don't
DC's
like
used to win
him.
5 rounds too. Lewis is not used to that. He's used to 3 rounds getting gassed.
He's used to a round, like, just punching, knocking your face off.
Like, I've been reading a lot of shit about that fight, and a lot of people think that fight's only going on because DC's fucking scared to fight Jones again. That's why. Like, ultimately, if you're Dana White and you're looking for the money fight, you're looking for fucking. You want the Jones Cormier fight. That'll be the biggest next fight. But Cormier didn't want it because he's already lost twice to Jones. He doesn't want that fucking fight.
He's never. I listened to him on Pardon My Take today, and he said they asked him, they said John Jones is the next fight. Like, that's who you need. That's who's next. And he was like, well, John Jones already has a fight. He's fighting Gustafsson. And then he said, they were like, well, you obviously want to fight him. Like, you've never beat him, or you did. And he was like,
He don't want to fight him.
He was like, yeah, well, I've never beaten him. So, like, yeah, I want to fight him and win. That's the whole thing.
He doesn't say that, but he doesn't want that fucking fight.
Yeah, no, he's scared.
He doesn't want that fight.
Well, he'll get knocked out.
He's gotten knocked out.
He then proceeded to say that John Jones' punches don't hurt. And then...
Well, his kicks obviously fucking hurt.
Oh, his kicks. That's what he did say that. He says punches don't hurt that much. Now, the kicks, on the other hand...
He's gotten rocked by his
You get rocked
kicks.
upside the head. Dude, I could not imagine.
That Gustafsson fight would be a good fight, though.
That John Jones... Did you see
fight.
the first one?
Yeah.
The first one was
It a bloody
great.
fucking fight.
That was great. That's one of the best fights I've seen in a long-ass time.
I just think that, ultimately for him, man, he's like... His losses are from fucking Jones. He don't want that fucking...
I really hate Stipe lost to him, too. I thought Stipe was going to beat him.
I mean, honestly, I think he's a good guy. I do think he's a good guy. I just like... There's starting to be a shift in MMA away from a lot of the bullshit trash talk. They want it to be cleaner. Like, a lot of the fighters want it to be cleaner. And
Fuck the fighters, dude. Conor McGregor shows you how to make money in the UFC.
that's what it's about. Like,
And if you don't want to do it that way, then you can just sit...
Controversy.
Look, here's the thing. Do you want to make $50 million a fight, or do you want to make $8 million, $10 million a fight? What do you want?
Did you see Mighty Mouse left? I'm getting some, like...
Static, yeah.
Yeah, you getting it too?
I think it's something with those chords. Good. I think you might have it.
What the fuck is that?
Are you hearing it too?
Yeah, I heard it. I think we're good now.
What were you saying before the static happened?
You
said you were seeing some stuff about something. I don't know.
Oh, about how Mighty Mouse left. UFC is going to... was it
Bellator?
Is it Bellator or like the one fighting or whatever? Danny was even saying that he never got the love from the fans that he thought that he deserved. Which, I mean, he is nasty as fuck, but he's never been like...
Mighty Mouse didn't, but he didn't
man.
promote himself that way. He was just kind of like very respectful by the book, and I think in that type of sport, if you
It's
aren't
about the controversy.
if you aren't like able to sell, you're selling yourself. You're not selling a fight. You're selling yourself to the fans. And if you can't sell yourself as entertaining as someone I want to like pull for and see like go to war and come out alive,
or even someone wants to see lose.
yeah,
I feel like that's part of McGregor's thing. It's not even that McGregor. I mean, he has an awesome fan base. It's massive, but like he also had a massive base of people who just wanted to fucking lose.
I
so
think
bad
that
they lost.
that's like Nate Diaz.
true.
No, people don't like Nate Diaz.
Yeah,
They respect him, but they don't like him
It is.
because he's a freaking asshole. But guess what? Every time Nate Diaz fights, you're gonna tune in.
Do you see Khabib's trying to sign like a 2-fight contract with Mayweather? That's not even a fucking good fight. Maybe
He
Khabib's
can't.
not even like
He
a
won't.
stand-
Wait,
Mayweather.
2 fights?
Floyd won't sign that.
Like fuck that.
Floyd won't
No,
even make the money off that
It
fight.
doesn't. Floyd would do it because Floyd would beat the fuck out of
What?
him. He's
Why?
not even a stand-up boxer.
Yeah,
a
he's not.
wrestler.
Yeah, what?
He's a wrestler. Like
Khabib saw Conor do it and get paid bank.
yeah.
Khabib thinks since he's the champ now, he can do it and get paid bank. You're not going to. You're going to go in there and you're going to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Embarrassed
100%.
by Floyd Mayweather.
100%.
Because Conor at least like landed a couple shots. Khabib will have the conditioning to go a little, maybe the same distance Conor did, maybe a little longer. But he's not a boxer. He's got no technique.
You
as
see
far
that?
as that's concerned.
You see the Ben Askren guy, whatever. He's like coming from the one. He's like the.
He's from Bellator.
Yeah, he like the moment he like came into MMA or to like UFC, he called out like 10 motherfuckers in UFC on Twitter, like telling them all, I was like, I'm gonna fucking eat your kids, like fuck you, and like he's calling them all out, and Dana White said he's gonna give him a top 5 fight.
He should.
First
Ben
fight.
Askren's a badass.
It's kind of sick.
That dude can
Yeah.
fight too.
He put a meme out that was like Khabib, and it was like he had Khabib's hair, and Khabib had his hair, or you know like the hat, like the fucking
The hat,
whatever
the poofy hat.
yeah, the poofy hat that he always fucking wears.
I don't know what you call that though. It's definitely like just a poofy hat. I don't know what. It's definitely got a Russian name, some Chechenian
Yes,
bullshit.
Chechen
bullshit
fucking
is what it is.
earmuff. Shit looks like my balls.
But yeah, dude, I really hope Derek Lewis just clocks DC tomorrow. Like first.
See, but I won't
15
buy
seconds.
that. I wouldn't buy that fight. Like, I wouldn't even go anymore and watch that.
I would.
fight.
I
Like,
don't think. I don't think the
fight.
card's any good. To be honest, I haven't checked the card, but I don't think it's any good. The Gustafsson John Jones fight is gonna be a good one. The problem is December, or I'm pretty sure it's the 31st of December.
Are we on right now? We live?
Yeah, we're
We've
live.
been live for a minute.
Dude, this is the first podcast we've had in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it has been a
So
while.
shout out to everybody who's tuning in. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
We've had to change our setup and everything. Like,
Yeah.
Little change
we're
of
in a different
scenery.
spot.
It's okay. We might be rambling around for a while trying
We-
to find a perfect home.
It is, man. We got ghosts with fucking jack-o'-lanterns on their heads. Like,
Yeah, you're not even on it. What are you
well,
your phone.
what do you mean?
Oh, dude, you ain't
Were you
even
pulling
dropped
it up?
You didn't look at
Pulling
it.
what up?
He thought you were
The
pulling it up.
cast.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to in a second, but I got sidetracked.
You got distracted by the little boo man on the
Come on,
thing.
bro. We gotta climb the fucking view ladder
I saw your views been going up on
on my Twitch. Yeah.
your
You
Twitch.
gotta turn your volume down.
That's because you've been streaming every day, though.
Dude, yeah, that's the thing is I do it every fucking day. Like I get like a couple followers every day. Which is dope. I had like 18 people watching me last night. It was dope.
I wish I could like play more games with you,
Mm.
other than just Fortnite. I'd join in on your 24-hour, but I don't want to play Fortnite the
Well,
entire time.
We
Yeah,
need Jake
fuck
to
that.
become more fucking toxic. We've talked about this.
Yeah,
Is making
dude.
out of the cast.
Listen.
Nah, dude.
We need you to be a little more on the haterade side of
To
life.
everyone who's on this fucking podcast and watches this after, if you follow us on Instagram at the Breaker Box, you can always tell when I'm tweeting because we don't fucking care. We don't fucking
don't
care.
care.
We don't care. It's
There's
toxic bullshit. Like, I don't
Don't
want
care.
our like not even fans, like people that follow us. Like, I want people to leave the cast and like be like, damn, like I don't even know if I feel safe.
That's
and
a
sound
savage
right now.
environment. We want you
This
to come
is
in
like,
here talking some shit.
We're not
to
trying
us.
to. We didn't make an account for a safe space.
No.
Like, fuck that.
We ain't in
Like,
safe spaces. It's not our thing.
You know QT has a sign up in Fort Mill. On
This is a
Parkway.
safe place?
Safe place or safe zone.
Dude.
We need to go out there and make a video of us like walking past it with like a hammer or something like that. Like you're about to fuck someone over, and you just like drop the you like see the sign, you like drop the hammer on the ground. Like fuck it, I guess I can't go in here and beat someone's ass. Like, but you can, man. You got to start putting out more edgy shit. Jake's over here like, hey guys, Jake's trying to create a community. We're trying to create a bunch of people who fucking despise each other, who like threaten to beat each other's ass on our page. Like, I want our DMs to be filled with hate mail. So if you're watching this right now, shoot us a hate message right now. We'll get back to you. We love talking shit. I'll do it.
So fucking...
Tell us what you don't like about us.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Tell us why we suck.
Like that's what I'm looking at. Jake's over here trying to fucking talk
Hey,
to little
man.
kids about their problems. Jake's basically becoming a therapist.
I'm here for you. Let's play Fortnite
That's
together.
what I'm saying. Like Jake's over here
That should
like,
be a
oh,
Jake. You shouldn't hand that out. That should be a privilege.
Jake will see somebody with like in a third world with a dirt floor and be like, "Yo, your house is sick." Like just saying bullshit. Like,
Yo, that's a sick floor, man.
That's what
I
I'm
like the
saying.
aesthetic.
Nah.
saying, like these kids are literally playing on like a hacked Wi-Fi connection.
They got friggin' bamboo swords and shit running around thinking.
These
"Oh,
motherfuckers like constructed an Xbox out of bamboo and fucking mud bricks.
The mud hut, dog.
Dude, why is my fucking...
And we need to. All right, so I've been trying to organize the trip to where it's all right. If, for everybody like this listening, we kind of all decided we're getting a gang together. We're going to Boone, North Carolina for New Year's, and we're gonna go and snowboard and stuff at the slopes. And it's just like something. I like it more than going to a fucking bar anyway, because it's fucking different.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not
Right,
just going.
like-
I've been to the bars for New Year's and stuff, and it's fun. But
Well, dude, fuck
You do
paying
it all
like
the
$100, especially in Charlotte. Fuck paying $100 cover to have all you can drink drinks when you can pay $120 for 4 days.
your drinks
and
aren't all
nights.
you can drink. That's the problem.
I mean, but it's even if it was. I mean, in a lot of places it is like. I know when like when we went to Reds, it was like that. But
Oh,
like,
down in Charleston.
But like, yeah, but fuck that, dude.
Dude,
Like,
the place-
I wanna do
the
something
place
that's,
I
like,
went
fun
to-
and different.
The place I went to when I went to Charlotte, we went to Slate, like All American. The last time I went there, and it was you got 30 tickets, and each ticket could get you a drink. But if you wanted a certain drink, it was X amount of tickets. So if you just
Oh,
wanted a
really?
Bud Light,
Oh, fuck
if you just
that.
wanted a
That
Bud
sucks.
Light, it was only one ticket.
Yeah,
No
that
one's fucking
sucks.
drinking Bud Light. I drank vodka. Guess how many tickets that was? 3.
Well, dude, I feel like last year at Beach Mountain, the only thing that was tough was when we went to like the event there, the fact that you did have to buy liquor and it was fucking expensive as shit. Like I probably spent $100 that night in Beach.
Well, you were also buying drinks for two.
Yeah, but I'm also buying a double Red Bull vodka every time.
Yeah, Red Vods all night long.
Especially after it was fucking snowing there. Like, I mean,
it was pretty lit though.
It was lit as fuck, man. It was lit as fuck. We get to do our thing.
I'm bringing a camping flask this time.
But my thing is, the reason I want to stay in the same place is because, and last time we went, we stayed in these condos. It was like 6-person condos, and in this place called like the Pinnacle Inn, which is like they give you shuttles to the mountain, to the event, and everything, so you don't have to worry about driving. But we can get like 3 or 4 rooms if we have enough people like all across from each other and have like a big fucking area we all just like mob out. Not to mention it's more fun too if you're snowboarding and stuff where there's just a ton of people and it gives like people to
Wait, so you say
Haley.
you want to do the condo thing?
The condo thing's straight. We're just gonna have to like arrange who's in what room beforehand, and if the group is as big as it is right now, maybe consider 3 rooms instead of 2.
The group right now is probably only like 10, 12 people.
Oh, I thought it was like 15.
No, I don't know if Meech and them are going to come. They were talking about coming
I
out.
doubt Alec and Trevor are going to come.
Yeah.
Trev already said he was out. He said he was going
Dude,
to
well, I would think that Alec is more out because he has that trip with his family they take every year. But I feel like Trevor is dreaming right now about going to Park City. For
yeah,
New
but that's
Year's.
also
like,
a sick fucking trip too. Like,
but
I can't blame.
But dude, he says that all the time. He's like, let's take this trip somewhere, and then it'll never happen. Once it comes down to a week and everybody's going, and he doesn't actually have the money for it, he's gonna be like, all right, I'm in.
Well, dude, I would fucking go on that trip if it got organized.
That's
a
$700
trip.
It's more than that.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
No, that's a couple grand.
Like,
he wants to go snowboarding there too.
Yeah, that's a couple grand easy.
Well, I wouldn't go if you weren't going to snowboard there. Like,
yeah, well, lift tickets are at least $500. You gotta have a place to stay, a way to get out there, and a way to get back.
I feel like if you're
that's like a $1,500 trip.
I feel like if we're gonna go anywhere like that now, we should go and stay
Jackson Hole
in Colorado with fucking Andy, and then fucking go from there. We have a free place to stay. She lives by the mountains, like.
And then he didn't even care about that trip anymore because Ethan texted us the other day, and he has a friend up in Canada that wants us to come snowboarding there. But I was like, dude, like that trip is unrealistic. Like first off, we got to get passports to go to Canada. My dad doesn't fly. My dad doesn't fly internationally. Like that's gonna be like a $2,000
Plus,
trip.
you gotta have a board.
And he was like,
well,
well, if I didn't go to New Year's, that'd be $300-$400 more I could contribute towards going to Calgary. I'm like, you're not going to Calgary, so you might as well fucking come with us.
I mean, those trips sound awesome. Like I would be in for the trips like that.
Yeah, they're dope, but it's just not realistic. I'm saying, like,
dude, right now, like. But I mean, we've all talked about it too. Like, I know you've already gone out there, but at some point in the next year or so, I'm going out west and go for like a snowboarding trip.
Let's go.
And I'm down to save up a couple grand and do it like that.
Let's go to Jackson Hole.
So down for that.
Or like Big Sky, Montana.
I want to go to Jackson Hole really bad. Yeah, Heavenly's the best place I've been to, but
Jackson Hole, the Tetons are unreal, dude. I haven't seen them in the summer, like or winter, like a legit winter. I've seen them with like snow on them, but
well, dude, I'm willing to try to do shit.
He's a coaster, you barbarian.
I'm willing.
You weren't raised in a barn,
dude. I'm willing to go out there and try to do shit. Like I don't like trying to do shit at like the terrain park and beach because when you crash, it's like falling on concrete.
It's dope.
The thing is like even out there, like
I want to go and land in like
dude. Last year,
you're only gonna land in POW if it's backcountry because the mountains themselves are gonna be groomed.
Dude, last year you and Shell were just fucking sending it off those jumps. Like Shell busted his fuck. You and Shell busted your fucking ass. I get up to the top of the terrain park and look at LA. He's just like looking out. I was like, "You gonna go?" He's like, "When I fucking feel like it." He was just like,
well, dude, I went one time and tried to actually send it, and I came down. That's when I fucked my wrist up, and I was sitting there when we were out like at the diner or whatever. After that, and I was like, "Dude, I'm done." Like I got up from that shit and like. I just like waddled my way to the fuck, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, I busted my ass on the second box.
See,
because I didn't realize how much speed I had.
You were a lot better than I thought you were gonna be off the jumps. I'll give you that as far as like your credit. You definitely were, and you landed the shit too. I just like that for me. Like when we go, I don't usually hit the train park. Like that was a first for me actually trying to get air.
And my board's big as fuck.
It's weird. It's like you see it, and it seems like it's really easy to keep yourself like aligned and like your rotation and stuff. But like when you come off the lift and you pop it, it's so easy to pull yourself back, and then you get fucked.
Well, dude, you'll
Like, it's
get
not as easy.
if you go out west, you'll definitely get that experience out there.
Well, that's
because
I'm down
all
for
that shit out
I just
there,
don't want to fucking die
like-
on a fucking beach mountain park.
dude, like kickers like that and shit, like they're probably not that big out on like the terrain, but you find jumps like that like fucking everywhere. So and you get and the experience that comes from it is it's fucking 5 feet of powder that you're landing in. So even if you fuck up, it's like,
that's what I'm saying. I
it's
feel like
not a big deal.
It's like in my mind, it's like the same thing as like if you're on a motorcycle and you try to do a backflip into a foam pit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
I mean, not every spot is like that.
Yeah,
but,
and I'm sure it's not. But like,
dude, when we
just
went to
knowing-
when we went out to Heavenly, me and Holden last year, there was this one part where you're coming down the ski lift, and there's so many fucking logs, and they have this one like log set up like right by the like bottom of the ski lift, and it's just like a stump with a log up on top, and I had no other option but to just fucking like send it off of there, and I just like did it, and then when I came down, landed, I just like looked back up, I was like, holy shit, like that was nuts,
man.
dude. Like you do stuff like that, and because it's just fucking wide open. It's the Wild West out there. It's crazy as shit.
That's kind of where I want to go. Like I feel
Yeah.
like I don't want to sit there at Beach Mountain and break a fucking arm and then be like this fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like fuck that. And like, dude, everybody at the terrain park, and I mean, I'm sure it's the same out west. Everybody's nasty as fuck, but like the terrain park at beach, like everyone who's at the terrain park is fucking nasty.
Yeah.
They're nasty. So like when you out there just as like some fucking kid over here, like they're all looking at you like, look at this fucking faggot. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like look at this douchebag out here trying to fucking send it. Like
Dude, the terrain
getting
park
sent
at
to the fucking ambulance.
the terrain park at Mount Hood in Oregon was better than Heavenly though. It's like you like come down the right side of the mountain and you go straight into this like quarter pipe, and then like once you come out of the quarter pipe, it's got like a like there's like a kicker that you like come up one side and come down the other. It's like a transfer ramp. You come down that, and then you go right into all these like kickers and rails and shit, and you can
See, this is my. If we find a jump out there,
and that was just one of them.
if we find a
It's,
jump
like,
that's
crazy
into like
as
5
fuck.
foot of powder out west, I swear to God on my life, I'm not gonna land it by any means or get close. I swear to God, I'll try a backflip.
Yeah, there's
Just because
spots you
there's
can.
not
Yeah,
the
okay,
repercussions
okay.
are not the
so
same.
this thing,
Yeah.
if you're backflipping on snowboard, are you going because you're goofy? Are you going to go over your left shoulder, feet this way, or are you just going to go back?
I don't fucking know. I can't. I have
Because
no
that depends
idea.
if you're going to do a
Dude,
backflip or not.
that rotation could be a fucking salamander rotation.
Dallas is going to go
Like,
throw it, and he's not going to go anywhere.
just gonna
His
hit
feet are
it,
going to
like-
come out from under him. He's just going to sit
Oh, I'll
there.
hit it, dude, and just look like a barrel roll.
Always rotate. The thing with that is always rotate more than you think you need.
Oh,
to.
for sure, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what. But I mean, like
That's
if,
how
if you're
people
landing
land
in
on
5
their
foot of
head and
powder, like
shit.
I don't have a problem coming down just like on my back. Like you do that at Beach Mountain, you're fucking dying. I
Oh,
don't wear a
yeah,
helmet out there.
100%.
Like I'm not wearing a helmet. Like when I came down on my wrist, I was like, that was the first time in years that I was like, I think I might have fucked up something.
Dude, the second day we were in Oregon, we went out with Ethan's cousins. They have season passes and shit there. They go out every fucking day. When I was asking him, he was like, this is what I do when I get off work. I just come here every day, do like the night ride, and then I'll wake up, go to work. And if I don't have to work, I just come in the morning, spend all day
I would
here.
do that too if I lived.
We
out
get
there.
up to the top of the mountain, and a lot of the shit is untouched just because like most of the people don't go up there, and that's where there was heavy powder. And this guy was just he would just find cliffs and shit, and he was just hitting rotations. And me and Alec and Trevor, we were looking at him, we were holy
Like, that's
shit,
so sick.
dude.
That's so sick.
That is fucking unreal, dude.
Like, and that's, dude, I feel like that's
Crazy.
It's, not to mention too, like I've been like snowshoe, and like snowshoe's one of the biggest on the southeast. But like the fact that you can go down a run and you have to stop and take a break during the run in like Jackson Hole or any of these places because they're so massive, like that's some shit that I want to fuck.
Dude,
do.
Tino was telling
Oh,
me because
yeah.
Tino had never been out there at all, and he was talking to me about like when he went last year. He's like, dude, what do I do? Like, what size snowboard do I use? Whatever. I said, I mean, you can take mine. It'll probably fit you. But he didn't do that. He went out there and he came back. I was like, how was it? He's like, bro, we went on. He's like, so we did a blue the first time, and I thought, okay, no big deal. He's like, I had stopped twice. He said, and then we went and did a black, and I thought, oh, no big, it'll be a black. I've done blacks before. I've done them at like beach and stuff. He's like, dude, I look down. You can't see the bottom. You're just seeing clouds. He's like, we stopped like 4 or 5 times. It took like 10 minutes to get like halfway. I was like, damn, dude.
I feel like that's what sucked about
That's
beach
gnarly.
last year too, was that the visibility was shit. They were blowing so much snow that goggles were fucking useless.
Oh,
And after
dude!
that,
when
like, you
y'all
couldn't
went,
see shit,
when
man.
y'all
Like,
went back
it
out there
sucked,
that
man.
day,
It
when y'all
sucked.
went out there, and I knew your reasoning when you said, "Dude, I didn't come here not to go," and I stayed back. Like,
when they're blowing
I hated
snow,
that I
that
stayed
is
back.
the
I wish I would have
fucking
gone out there and
worst,
just
yeah.
sat at the bar so I could have potentially maybe saw you and Shell collide with each other. But all I said was, the visibility's horrible. There's no point in going. No one would ride in that. Trev got back and Trev said, "Where's everybody else?" So they went to the mountain. He said, "They're fucking stupid because you can't see."
Dude, I think it might have been you when we got stuck on that lift and the snowblower was right in our fucking face,
Dude, we were in that lift for like 30 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
longer.
I'm sitting there waiting on you.
We
guys
were there
to bottom.
longer.
I
dude.
still have that fucking free pass. It's expired now, but I'm gonna, when we
Dude,
go, I might take
Alec
it in
drove
and
up
see.
that night and I gave it to him,
Really?
and he just rode for free.
I might take
Yeah,
it.
It was sick as
When
fuck.
we go, I might take it and be like, "Yo, I got this last year, but we're out of town, so we haven't been here." I bet they fucking renew it and give me like a night
Maybe.
free. I would.
So
It's worth
this
a
is
shot.
what I
Why
thought.
would you not?
Because when I was talking to Shell about this,
Which one?
we were gonna go up there early like we did that day, and buy the day pass for that whole day, and ride that first day.
Yo.
And then we didn't know if we were gonna do the second day or not, because ultimately, you don't know how the weather conditions are gonna be anyway.
Yo.
And if they're
Yeah,
shit,
that's me.
I don't want to buy 2-day passes and not even use them the second day because I can't see or the riding's not good.
I wouldn't go there and definitely buy 2 passes off the bat. I would definitely buy a pass every day. I mean, you're saving yourself what? Probably $20. Like
Yeah.
in ultimate, in retrospect, it's probably not that good of a deal. Like if you think about it, dude. The only thing what I'm hoping for this year is that it's like there's a lot more fucking snow and powder than there was last year.
Well, I don't know.
It's
Well, they
too
say-
early, though. It's
they
still
say
too
we're
early.
in for a really cold winter, if that helps.
Yeah, dude. It was like -10 when we were up there last time. It's
Yeah.
fucking
Bro,
And
that was
where our I remember just going back to our condo and it was fucking like blizzarding, dude.
Were you in the back of the truck with?
heavy
You were in the back of the
fucking
truck with
snow.
me, weren't you?
Yeah,
Dude,
I was.
I had
Yeah.
icicles. My whole hair was just one big icicle when we got off. Like I'm sitting there, mask over my face, goggles down. Like I was warm, but when we got out of the truck, I remember looking down and my hair was just a giant icicle.
That shit was a fun trip though.
I had a good
And
time.
dude, it's part of the reason I want a lot of people to go too, because when we go, I didn't even snowboard with Haley at all. When we went there.
Fuck that, dude.
Fuck that, dude. Because I'm going to fucking snowboard. I'm not gonna sit there and I taught Mike, and Mike picked it up pretty fast.
I think
So
it
Mike
goes
can get
without
that.
saying any names who went last year that we should get some other people in instead of those people.
Yes. Already, yes.
I mean, I feel like there's just one big one sitting right there.
Oh, 100%.
Just one.
Yeah.
The thing is, I brought that one
She
person
ain't
up.
co-
I brought that one
she ain't
person
coming.
up to Haley, and Haley said, "I don't mind her. I like her." I was like,
No,
"No,
fuck
you
that.
don't. No, you don't."
She's not coming. I mean, and fucking Balter, she ain't coming.
Yeah, go.
But dude, my thing is we gotta get some more girls to come too. Like we can't just be a ton of guys and then
No, it's
fucking
not
Cat.
fun. But hey,
Cat and
I'll be
Haley, like-
honest. We got JT coming.
Yeah.
JT's in. He's like he's in.
JT's a wild
Yeah.
card, dude.
He is a wild card. He's in. But we definitely need to get some more girls. I told Allie Wade if she wanted to come. She
Dude,
could
just
come.
ask everybody you know.
I did. I asked a ton of people. dude.
Everybody.
Stacy wants to come.
Allie, you asked
Yeah, I'm cool with
Allie
Stacy
Wade to
coming.
come?
Hey, does Stacy still date that one chick that's rich as fuck?
No, she doesn't.
Damn, he kind of fucked that up.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, if you ask her to come, then I can't bring a girl.
She's probably not gonna come. I just asked.
Why?
Like,
What do you mean? Why you can't? Bring
I just
her
put
up?
my
You bring her
fucking
anyway.
I put my feelers out.
Jake,
It's like I wanted a lot of people
trust
to
me.
come.
There ain't no trust in you, dude. Quit being a pussy.
I'm not being a pussy, man. It's just.
I mean, I would like for her to come. She's fun. You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't mind.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't care if she came. It'd be fun. But I don't think she would ever. I texted Molly. Asked Molly if she wanted to come.
Molly
I
won't
asked.
come.
Molly's not gonna come,
No,
dude.
she ain't coming. Dude, I asked a lot of fucking people.
Let's just start. Everybody we meet, we just ask them if they want to come.
Word.
Everyone. Yeah, no, I think it's more about the collective of people we have. Yeah,
That's
I think,
what I'm saying. I
I
just
think
want
we
a
do
big
need.
group.
I think we do need more girls. Actually, there's no thinking. We definitely need more girls. But
Hey, so if anybody's watching and you know some girls that want to
know
go,
some girls that want to come with us, let us know.
Come.
But
treat you like
on
queens.
the real note, as long as we got a good, solid collective of people that we're cool with, it'll be a good time. We'll have fun.
Like Mike
Yeah.
Ivanko's been texting me trying to come, and I was like, dude, like I love Mike Ivanko, but
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Mike.
kinda.
Mike's cool. He's a cool dude.
honestly,
not coming?
I mean, I could ask him to come tonight, and he'd be like, I'm in.
He'd already be there. dude.
He's
Dude,
in.
we'll bring Mike. Mike will come.
Mike's cool. I mean, I fucking love Mike, and the reason that was awesome.
He didn't
when
do
Mike
anything bad last time except
Oh, not at
smoke
all.
everybody's weed.
Oh, he definitely. And on top,
Smoked my kid.
and he like kind of stayed back with Haley and them too because he was new, and he kind of learned with them and like kept him occupied while I could do my thing, which was sick. Like
Dude, he's the buffer right there, dude.
he is a buffer. He's a good guy too. He's a
Yeah,
hell
I
of a
like
guy.
Mike.
Yeah.
But we got to get some fucking biddies, dude.
Yeah. For sure.
Send us your fucking biddies.
Get all the cantina biddies, dude. They're still
I don't
around.
have any pull there, dude. A lot of new girls there that suck and are ugly.
They didn't have a good selection when we were down there last
Not
time.
at all. I did ask.
I saw a couple groups, but they were like with guys like us, you know.
I saw Ansley them
Like
come.
no girls are just gonna be on a fucking mountain by themselves.
No.
No, but you could go.
But
Like,
if they were,
y'all never really tried to talk to people at like the event either, and I thought the event was fun.
I talked to a few people.
Oh, dude, the event
but
was
it was
kind of the
more
best
like
part.
That's
it was
what
when
I'm
I was
saying.
getting PBRs at the bar, and they were just like, "You're drinking PBR?" I
That's
was
what I'm
like,
saying.
"Yeah."
Next, it's like your
By the
socks.
way, for anybody listening out there, we're talking about our New Year's trip from last year.
Yeah.
It was just a wild time,
It was wild.
and we're trying to do it again.
A lot of
this year.
late nights, early mornings.
late night, early morning.
Dude, were you?
One of those, you know how it
Oh
goes.
my god, I can't. I want to tell the story, but I can't. I feel like I can't.
Yeah, you gotta tell.
I
it
gotta
now.
tell it, dude. I gotta tell it. It's gonna be fucking hilarious. So we were sitting at a table. It was when you guys all left and went back to the mountain after we got checked in and everything,
Mhm.
and I didn't go. So it was me and Kat left Mac and Haley in their condo to go to the other condo, and Kat got her and Michael's room set up. I just put all my stuff in the kitchen and immediately proceeded to pack a bowl. Kat and I got ripped, and we were gonna go back over there to chill with Mac and Haley,
Yeah.
and then we didn't. We just lost track of time. We were over there an hour, and Kat goes, "Ellie, I feel bad." I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Cause they're waiting on us." And I was like, "Oh shit, we left Haley over there." And as soon as I said that, we get a knock on the door opens, and we share, "Oh my god, it smells like weed in here." And I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Dude, the funniest part was when everybody's smoking in that apartment, and Mackenzie was like, "Don't fucking do that."
Do you remember
30
when
minutes
fucking
later,
Shell
she's just
tried to-
ripping a bowl,
She
dude.
pulled out weed and started chiefing.
You
I
remember when
was
Shell
like-
tried to get that weed from her?
I was like, didn't you just tell us not
He's
to do
like,
that?
hey, and for everybody, like, it's hard to like put into context. For everybody, so like this,
Oh
like
my
no one really bought a lot of
God,
weed to
dude.
this place. And,
We had a powwow trying to get that.
So she
shit.
she brought like an eighth of weed that she didn't even really smoke. And at the end of the night, one night, Shell and them are everybody's trying to smoke, and she's like
Dude,
asleep
it
in a
was me,
room.
you, Shell, and Alec outside her room.
And if you can
Yeah.
imagine, it's like three guys like outside of her room, like all having like a talk and like planning basically like how they can convince her
The thing was,
to
is
give them the fucking
Dude,
weed.
y'all
We
were
were
all
trying to
trying to
get
convince
Jake.
me to do it.
we were
dude.
trying to get Jake
You had a
to
better
do it.
route than Shell.
Yeah, you had the more in than anybody.
Shell
Dude, I
walked,
didn't
Shell,
really have an
Shell walked
in,
in like
though.
this. Shell doesn't even know this girl that way. Walks in and goes, "Listen, this is how it's gonna fucking go. I'm gonna give you money. You're gonna give me your weed, and then we're gonna fucking leave." And she's like, "Get the fuck."
He
outta
said,
here."
"I'm gonna give you this $20 bill. You're gonna give me your weed, and that's it."
It's like-
And she, get the fuck out of here.
I was like, "Yeah, for Shell to not really know this girl
Alright.
hard." And he's like, "Listen, like this is how it's gonna just go in here and like just this is how the
Dude,
fuck
it
is."
could have
Like,
been Jesus Christ himself walking in that room. It was going to be the same outcome.
Oh, yeah, for
Oh,
every
dude,
time.
yeah, no one was getting that.
They kind of got my point, but Shell was so persistent. He was like, "You're fucking going in there."
He kept
Oh,
telling
I was like,
Jake he's
"Dude,
going.
I'm not."
Dude,
I was like,
just
"I'm
think
not going in
it's
that
just like
room,
such a
dude."
guy thing to do. Like I'm like just
How
like
did we get him
3 or
to
4
go in?
guys like huddled up outside of a room like plotting on how the fuck you're gonna get this girl to give her your fucking weed.
Wade says, "Lock, you're missing out on some cancer GBs right now." I bet
we
I
need
am,
some
dude.
fucking
Who said that?
Jeeps.
Wade shot. He's on Xbox. I don't know if you.
Dude,
ever
it's
played
been
him.
so long since we've taken Jeeps too,
He's the
man.
guy we played. He's talking about game battles.
I know. I'm talking
Are
about
you
Jeeps.
just playing-
I'm
game
talking about
battles?
fucking Jeeps.
I not on Blops. I've been playing game battles.
So-
I played game battles on.
Can-
Me and Preston played wagers
On
on
Blops?
on Fortnite.
Yo,
Is that
why-
actually
But
Actually,
dude,
no,
we don't
so
play.
many people with mouse and keyboard, they just cheat,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
so
what you're
obvious.
into.
It's so obvious, dude. Me and Preston came in third in a tournament to win $1,000, and the kids that we lost to won it, and they were mouse and keyboarding.
Oh, really?
We were like, "Are you
yeah, but
kidding
isn't
me,
your
dude?"
isn't your timing like a lot better on a mouse and keyboard just because?
Oh, 100%.
Your
Aim's better.
precise. You can't
aim
be
is
almost-
better. You can build faster.
Yeah, but how? Why would you like? In my thing, like I guess my point is,
Although
why
with
would
the
you
new
get into a tournament?
builds, it's pretty close.
Why would
The
you
new
get into a
builds are
tournament
super
like
close.
that?
The fact
Yeah.
you can edit your edit time to where it's
Yeah.
like 0.1
Then
second.
that's just now we got to fucking go back to the fucking debate we had the other night when we were at fucking Bar None about the
No.
fucking response times and
Nah,
fucking
this doesn't
mobs,
even
dude.
compare.
No,
dude.
you don't even know.
No, all right, it's not comparable with mouse and keyboard, but my thing is the fucking
I've-
Acer, whatever the fuck that is.
Acer,
it's
Acer,
a, it's
small
a
input
fucking
lag,
ploy.
your
It's,
input delay.
it's
no,
a
your
ploy,
input lag
man.
is a
It's a
real
mind thing.
Your
Dude,
input
my
delay-
argument
your input delay
against-
is a real thing.
my argument
you
against
can't
that-
even
against
perceive
that-
Your mind can't perceive
Okay, so
a millisecond.
Think about all the
input
gear I
lag
have
is a real
upstairs
thing.
with from my monitor that has a different input lag, now I got the trigger stops on my computer. That's a couple more milliseconds. You add all those milliseconds
It takes time
up.
to get used to it because
You
at
got
first
some
you don't
head
know.
Dude, the
Yeah,
response
yeah,
time for like
yeah.
the human brain's like what, 3 seconds or something like that. Like
But
you
when it
can't
adds up,
perceive a
dude.
second, man. You can't
Dallas.
perceive a second.
When it adds up.
When you
It
when
does,
you
it's,
sit down,
but not to the point where it's like, oh, I missed this
he's not
kill
really a
because
gamer.
of it.
He's not a gamer.
It's not about being a gamer,
We're not
man.
even talking about. No, it's not about the kills. It's
not about being a
Dallas, It's
gamer.
about me pressing.
It's about
X,
just like logic.
me pressing X to jump, and when I press X, it doesn't happen instantaneously. When I sit there on a television with 5 millisecond response time input delay, if I press X on that, and then I press X on one that's 1 millisecond, I'm going to notice if I play on it long enough that 1 millisecond. I'm going to notice, oh shit. I try to go back after playing on 1 millisecond for as long as I have, go back and playing on TVs. I can't do it.
Dude, I compare that
cannot
shit
do it.
to like the fucking, what is it, the old like Jordan pumps, the shoes. They were like, yo, if you pump these bitches up, you can jump higher, and you probably can or like the, what is it, the wristbands people used to wear, where you have like, you can stretch more if you wear the fucking shitty plastic wristband. It's in your fucking head.
No, it's
The mind
not.
is so
Yo,
powerful.
Wade says, damn, the OG 100 Thieves hoodie.
Yeah,
Not the
dude.
same one. GG.
Hell yeah, bro. That's what's up, dog.
Wade's cool as fuck. He
That's
was
what's
fucking
up, dude.
Say, we
You
only-
see play Fortnite?
See, the
Yeah,
only
he's a
difference
mod
is,
on my channel.
The only
too.
difference is
Let's
we're
party
100
He's a
thieves.
good mod.
We're only
Let's
100 thieves because we're stealing you, girl.
Yo, Wade's the god mod,
Yeah, hell
dude.
yeah, dude.
Wade's the god mod.
I'm gonna miss
Mods.
I'm gonna miss the Sass Master over here being our mod.
I am gonna miss
Today
the
was,
Being
his
our fact
last,
checker.
today was his last day of work.
Really?
Yeah, he was cleaning out his desk, sent me some snaps.
Is he going to Minneapolis for real?
Yeah, he's going.
Respect.
Gonna be an ice fisher.
It's a big move.
Ice fisherman, dude.
Yo, I heard that Michigan has on the ballot for this like round of voting
Kid Rock.
recreational pot.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Kid Rock's a senator.
There's like 3 states in the Midwest now that are that have it on the ballot at least, which is kind of sick. It just means, dude, the way I see it, it's like slowly trickling its way across the United States, and it's gonna end up
God,
at
if
the
it
East
ends
Coast
up
at some
here, I'll
point.
cry.
Pretty sure the
Yeah,
sun just died.
we'll be the last ones
Yeah,
to get it
dude.
though.
Yeah.
South Carolina will be
Yeah,
the
but-
last fucking ones to even put it on the ballot. Fuck you.
Yeah, hey, puff, pass, dude, cool.
I don't know about us being last.
We will be last.
Name
You
a
think-
state before. Name a state after us.
Yeah, name one state
Like,
after us. Don't even
Georgia.
No, South Carolina was the first state to secede from the union. We will be the last state to legalize marijuana.
Dude, I feel like Virginia and like
God, no.
Tennessee and
See, what'll happen?
Those are pretty-
What'll happen is like Maryland or like it'll be like
It'll be
recreational-
Maryland, New York, shit
DC,
like that. and then-
DC will legalize it recreationally,
Mm-hmm.
and then Maryland and Virginia will immediately follow. Immediately. And then you'll have just like this slow expansion of it. You'll have states hold out. I think like Tennessee will maybe hold out for a little bit. North Carolina's not. They're gonna go.
Dude, I see. That's what I'm saying. North Carolina's more.
South Carolina's gonna hold out. Alabama, Mississippi, those two
dude,
states might hold
isn't
out
it just
sometimes.
incredible though
Texas-
that we all know that
Texas-
it's gonna happen, but
Texas
it's just
won't
like
hold out.
it's so
Well, Texas
incredible
got
to me
freedom.
that we all know it's gonna happen, but it's kind of like we're just waiting. For
Well, dude,
it.
my
Like,
thing is,
like,
if
what-
you put that shit
why
to,
are we still waiting?
if you put
Like,
it
it's
on the
going to
ballot,
fucking
if you put
happen.
it on the ballot now in South Carolina, it'd be in like
It'd
most
be
states,
close.
it'd be a close fucking
South Carolina
vote.
would be
Oh,
shit
yeah.
But the problem is, you can't even get it to the point where it's on the fucking ballot for everyone to vote on because
It's not
there's
a
just
talking
so
point
much
right now.
shit. There's so many people there who will push it back or who push it off and be like, no, like,
I think
because you have to vote to that point to put it on the ballot. Like,
I
it
think
didn't
we're
just
5
say we
years.
decide.
I think we're
Dude,
5 years
dude.
away for actually being on that.
Fruit
What you got?
medley.
Fruit medley.
Yeah, but it tastes like a fucking stink bomb.
Fucking because it's the fucking watermelon.
You gotta have some mangoes in there, dog. What you mean?
Tried it.
I almost brought a Julie the other day.
Oh
and
no,
don't even
that first
smoke
hit.
shit.
Oh, it's kind of spitting at me.
That's
Yo,
what's
it's
bad.
bullshit. It's bullshit because that shit is so.
Spitting at
If
me
you
like,
buy
oh,
if you
hit
buy
it.
the rig and the fucking
hit
pod,
it.
it's like $30-something.
No, we're just gonna buy one rig. My brother's got a shit ton of pods, and he's got juice.
It's like what
to
$12.
refill
I think it's
pods.
like $12 for like a pack of
Why
pods.
don't you just
Cleanse
buy
my palate.
the juice? Why don't you just buy the juice and refill it?
I
You
have to
can
take a
refill
juice.
pods,
Yeah,
but they
I-
leak
fuck.
really bad.
That's
They
the only
do
reason I
leak
don't do it is
really
because he
bad.
did it and it was fucking it sucked. Like I'd rather just have some clean shit.
Yo, your thing is spitting.
You're spitting. My shit
Nah.
don't spit. My shit don't
Yeah,
fucking
it
spit.
does.
Also, in your mom's bathroom, there's so much religious stuff in there that I feel like I've just gotten to it in a cult.
Yeah, we have like pineapples all in our house too. Like my
I
mom
think.
has.
You know what that's a sign of?
Isn't it like gay people?
Swinger.
I don't know.
If you go to a grocery store, if you go to like shopping at a grocery store and you see like
Look,
older
up on
people,
the wall, see
if
pineapples.
you see like older people with a pineapple in their cart or something, it's like a sign. It's a universal
If you
sign
look
for
in our
swingers.
house,
What if they
we
just,
have
like,
a lot
fucking
of
If you
pineapple?
have,
pineapples.
if you have
That's
like
like a fruit.
some people like have pineapple flags
Well, my mom's
like
not
in their
married anymore,
neighborhood,
so-
and they keep it up year round.
Swinger.
Swinger. Hey man, might see her at a party.
Yeah, but I went in there. I feel like I just got saved when I went in that bathroom. There was so much religious
you
shit.
were blessed,
I was
dude. You're blessed.
Well, it's because it's part of the reason that me and Alex, my older sister, got into it with religion the other day when my dad was in the hospital. It was like getting all his surgeries and stuff. Like, we were just like, got to the point where we were just screaming at each other.
Dude, me and my mom last night at dinner, we went out for her birthday dinner, and even Pat was like somewhat agreeing with me, but my mom is just so, I feel like she's so ingrained into that Southern Baptist mentality. It's just anything I say, it's like she can't look at an argument as unbiased. And even Pat spoke up. He was like, well, that's not what Jake's saying. Because I told her, I was like, I probably will not go to church. Like, I don't see myself going to church for like, I probably will never go again.
I would go to church.
I might go to church
if my wife was like super religious and it's just something like that she was into, that I would just go there
exactly.
as, like, to support her. Absolutely.
Exactly. Like my mom was talking about going to church. Like sometime she wanted to bring me for like the holidays, and like out of respect for my mom, I might go to church one time for like my mom or whatever. But like I was like, I'll go, but I'm gonna be making fun of people.
You're a better person than me because my family doesn't even ask me to go to that shit anymore.
But I was just explaining to her like the whole, especially like my thing with like mega churches is the whole like religion aspect has become so much about the organization, dude. Think about all the people that drive around with like elevation stickers on the back of their car. It's more a stigma and just like numbers than
I look at it as like when we were
it's become something else.
When we were kids, churches were like singular. You didn't have like there wasn't a church franchise like there is now. Like especially like I don't know if Elevation Church is like worldwide, but in our area,
it's definitely national wide.
The fact, or like that's what I mean, like nationally, like the fact that there's like 5 within like a 20-mile radius of each other just tells you like, yo, something's up here.
Well, it's hard to say. All right, so like when you go, and I have the same problem with my grandma when we like debate it. But at the same time, I understand it in the way because at this point,
it's the way they grew up.
It's not even it's that in a way, but it's like you've lived your entire life according to these ideals, and you can't you lived your entire life according to these ideals. You can't just say after 35, 40 years that it was all in vain. You know what I mean? Like you've lived your life this way for so long, and you've been so into it now that you can't. That's the resistance. It's like they can't just say I've lived my life by something that it may not even be true for all this time.
Like I go like I get the faith aspect, okay, and I'm
not
one to say like religion can't benefit in certain ways. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. However, I just don't buy it, man. Like I think if you look at like science and things like that, it just.
I think we can all agree. I'm not saying maybe we don't, but I think we all agree that there's like a higher power.
I'm not dismissing the idea of God. I'm not dismissing the idea of a higher power. I 100%. Totally believe that.
And that's what I was trying to explain to my mom.
But I just can't. I can't sit there and say like, you know, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, whatever is the absolute way. When if you go back through history, there have been countless different versions of religion.
Oh, 100%.
And to sit there and take somebody,
hundreds, maybe thousands,
pull a tribe out of like the Amazon and tell them like what you believe in is not right. This is the God. This is the only God. Like everything you've ever known is a lie.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell them that just because they perceive something different than you. It's all about perception. And
religion in itself was just an early form of science in a sense that it was just trying to explain the unexplained. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was trying to explain something that you couldn't explain, and you didn't have the capability to explain it in the way that we can.
Yeah, and that's what my mom was saying last night. That was like her main point, and she was like, "Well, I'm your parent. Like, of course I want you to go to heaven." I was like, "Yeah, anybody wants that." I was like, "But you can't sit there and tell me 100% that you know that somebody's going to heaven or hell because nobody even knows what that is. Yeah. Nobody even knows what that is. Like, dude, nobody even knows if there is a heaven or hell 100%.
It is, and like I think that like
there's." I that's why I was saying. I was like, Mom, like, I'm a firm believer that there's a higher power, and the fact that you're sitting there right there telling me that you're worried for me because I won't go to church proves my point that you just can't separate like your own beliefs between like church. Like that's not
church isn't your belief.
Yeah,
you either believe like essentially. Dude. I mean, she believes in her religion, Christianity, and I think you can't. I don't know. I get into this argument all the time with people in my family. And it's like, some of them get it, others just want to dismiss it and don't want to talk to me about it because they say, like, you're just crazy or whatever.
Yeah, your phone, bro.
But...
It's dead.
Oh. Are you dead?
No, but it's true in the sense that it's like, me and LA talked about it in depth that night that we were all out at Bar None.
Climb the ladder.
Like Alex was saying, Alex is holding me with me, she was like, why she was like, how do you live your life knowing, like, not knowing that there's a heaven after life and stuff like that, and the not having that, like, belief. And I was like,
I just don't know.
Dude, I'm so much more excited about the fact that I don't fucking know what happens than the fact that I just claim to know what happens.
Oh, exactly.
Like, ultimately, me and LA were talking about it a lot the other night. We were at Bar None. Like, ultimately, life itself is just, it's
we
a fucking,
went deep.
It is, dude.
there, dude, in the
it's
middle
true,
of the
dude.
bar.
Like, life is just a fucking game of probabilities. It's a game of fucking probabilities.
It's a game of chance, dude.
Sometimes it works out in your favor. Sometimes it doesn't. Just the same way you get hot when you're gambling and you go on a run and like things are going great, and then the next moment you turn around, you're losing every fucking hand ever. Like in my mind, like that's just kind of how but I feel like it's a way more. I'm all about the faith because I have faith that there is something greater, but I feel like it takes more faith to believe in like some name that has been parroted for thousands of years rather than just believe in something greater. Because at the end, when it comes down to it, does it really fucking matter? Does it really matter the name that you call it? I mean, if it's like Jesus or Muhammad, or if it's just Philip, you know what I mean? Like, who fucking cares? Like, I feel like the idea, and I feel like that belief that there is something greater is like a level of consciousness that grows. Like I feel like it's like your soul or consciousness that's more in depth and more like it's more open minded to the things around you rather than that closed minded view of just like this is just because I mean I don't agree with atheists when I think that when you die there's just none.
I don't think atheism is not. I don't think that's right.
Like I think there's just something that's way more. There's something way more involved.
Dude, I just look at it this way: if you were born, okay, let's just pick a random part of the world. Say you were born in India, for example. What are the chances you are going to be
like
believing like Hinduism? You know, if you're born, this is the argument that I had with like my family is like they're Christian, but it's like I was like if you were born anywhere else in the world other than America, if you weren't born in the United States. If you were born in the Middle East, what religion would you be? Well, I'd be Christian because that's what I believe in. I was like, that's you now. If you were born there, you're probably going to be Muslim or 100%. Jewish. Like, you 100%. More than likely are not going to be a Christian. If you're born in Africa in the middle of the savannah and with a tribe there, you're going to believe in whatever they believe because that's where you were born into. Yeah. Religion is purely based on geography and where you're at. Where you're brought up, like,
and I feel like part of the reason that I think that I guess like my idea that there is something more is because there's a lot of weird, funky shit that I feel like can't be explained by.
Because we live in a world.
But the thing is, I look at it. There's so many
dude.
different forms of religion, and even you date back throughout history. There's too many instances of it, like a higher power, for there just to be nothing. I mean, I don't think that was possible because how come this many people have come to the same conclusion that there is something higher than this? You know what I mean?
Dude, honestly, I would be down to have somebody on here that is just like strictly like Christian or something and just talk to them about it. Like, be respectful and everything.
I'm down to have someone who's strictly Christian, strictly atheist, Muslim, whatever. Like, I want to.
But we would have to find somebody that would be unbiased to like hear our thoughts because I feel like that's the thing. Like,
just want to disregard.
Dude, Pat would be a good because Pat's like very when I'll have conversations about it with him and he's very unbiased about things. Like last night, like points I was bringing up, he was like, yeah, I agree with that because we were talking about my mom, like she had breast cancer and Pat was asking this and he was because my mom was like, yeah, like when I had breast cancer, like we were praying with the church and I've never had that like wave of spiritual emotion come over me. But listen, like Pat was like Pat brought up a great point. He was like Steph, like that's great for you, but he was like, think about this. So when you were having that spiritual power come over you and everything, that was great, but so you conquered cancer and you think of it and you're like, oh, give all praise to God, but there's at the same time there's somebody in the world somewhere else has the same exact disease and they die. If you're going to give praise to God, then at the same time, like, who do we place that blame on when it doesn't happen? And so many Christians, they'll just be like, oh, well, that's part of God's plan. But I feel, in my personal experience, like, that's just an excuse. Like, it's the same thing. Like, life is not black and white. Like, it's more just it's more just like a balance of like life that we're living. Like, you know, I don't know.
I remember reading the Bible, and there was a verse that always like stuck out to me. This is when I was like already like I've had doubts about it all. Like, I mean, I grew up around church, like going to church, like my grandparents and stuff, and like my mom. When I got like to high school was when I really like I questioned it, but when I got to high school was when I really started questioning it. And it was like when I was doing the whole like Young Life thing. I remember reading. It was in Romans, and I read Romans 9, and like one of the parts of that verse was like, the Lord bless. I can't remember it verbatim, but basically saying God chooses who He blesses and who He doesn't, and it doesn't matter what you've done in your life, whether you've worshipped Him and lived the holiest life you could. He could choose not to bless you and to smite you and to do whatever He wants because that's who He is. That's what He can do. He has that ability. You could be the big world's biggest sinner, and He could bless you with everything. Like, it's all in that. At that point, it's just like a roll of the dice. So my whole thought was, all right. So if that's the case, then why does this book say you should live your life a certain way for this reason, for this to happen? If none of it truly matters, because at the end of the day, it's up to someone's choice whether you're blessed or what or whatnot.
Dude, so many people are just united, especially at churches, united under this one fear that if you don't act a certain way, you're going to hell. Like, that's what it's that fear-based mentality.
It's definitely a big fear tactic. Like, the whole thing is all fear tactics.
And that's my problem with mega churches, is because pastors, like, I'll even say his fucking name on here. I don't give a shit. Like Stephen Furtick at Elevation.
I don't like him, dude. I'm be honest. I don't like him.
You're living your life. He lives in a $17 million home.
Oh no, it's like close to $20 million.
Yeah, he lives in a 17. So you're living your life as a pastor. He wakes up on Monday, and his job every week is to figure out what he's going to give people scripture wise throughout that week. He's taking donations, but he lives his life off of donations given from people, and that's his job. Like, when we go to work on Monday, we're going to do our job, and his job is on Monday to start looking up scripture. And he's taking donations from people, and he's living in a 17. Like,
dude, think of the platform. Think of the platform you're streaming on.
You know what I'm saying? What?
Think of the platform we're streaming on right now.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But the thing is, it's I don't look at it as the same thing because it's almost like a form of manipulation because you're playing into something like.
Did you see that guy at TwitchCon 2018?
The dumbass who said he felt better than everybody.
Yeah, got roasted.
What?
Dude.
Something Durante, dude. Fuck that dude.
It's
apparently it was ex-Smite Pro. No, fuck that.
That's
dude.
my point. If you're taking donations, and he got roasted. If you're taking donations off of any platform, whether it be Twitch, like, it's your job to just like look at it in hindsight and know what you're doing. You know, especially if you're getting money from other people. My thing is with the Stephen Furtick guy is, what Joel Osteen. By the way, if you don't know who Stephen Furtick is, he's a pastor of a mega church.
Just look him up. Yeah. It's crazy.
And don't get me wrong, he does a lot of good, raises a lot of money for people.
The message is good.
It's just what's behind it. Like, I'm not sitting there saying you can't live in a $20 million home. I'm not saying you can't have nice things. But I'll take this. Billy Graham, who's a well-known pastor, especially in the area, didn't live in a $20 million home. Dude didn't do that. Like, and I look at some other guys who are in that field, some other priests, pastors, what have you. Yeah. They're not living in mansions. You know what I mean? Some of them are living modestly. Now you do have those that do, and I'm not saying you can't have nice things, but when you're in that thing and you're supposed to be the holy guy, you're supposed to be like the closest connection to God for most people at your church or whatever. For you to sit there and be like, oh, you know, I'm building a $20 million home off of all this money I'm making doing this.
Even if you're in that position of power, you have so many options to create revenue off of investments or other business ventures that you don't even have to put that much effort into.
A lot of it for those people, for like TV evangelists.
But when a
lot of it's like book deals and shit like that.
But when he built, and he does have a book, but that's church related. I'm talking about you can go invest in a restaurant, do something else with that you can make revenue off of instead of taking all these donations. And when he built that house, a lot of people in that church were looking. They wanted to know how much money was going into that, and they never provided.
I have 2 points.
I think that's.
I have 2 points that I always bring up. Like when I talk to my grandma and like even my sister about it. There's 2 points I always bring up. It's like, one, like you say you have you're diagnosed with cancer.
Are you going to take medical advice from someone 1,000 years ago? Or are you going to take medical advice from a doctor nowadays? We know more about the world and how the world works now. So
that's why science is more intertwined with God than they think it is.
Dude. Like that viewpoint is, it's like you can't live on a theology from thousands of years ago and think that it's applicable in the times we live, because we just know so much more. In the same way, like you want to talk, and my grandma makes the argument the same way your mom does about the experience, and you experience something. What about all the people who are on like on TV with a TV evangelist, and they wave their fucking jacket, and the whole front row drops down to the fucking ground? Because you're having an experience, but it's not because it's a genuine experience. It's a crowd. Yeah. It's a moment crowd. It's a moment crowd.
Yeah.
Momentum type thing that, like, it's not because someone's coming down. These people can't fucking touch you. Drop to the fucking ground. You go
to fucking Odessa and trip acid. I guarantee you'll have more of an experience than that.
Yo, let's go to Burning Man.
The experience itself is in the eye of the beholder. So if you really believe something, you're in the moment. Like, yeah, you can. You respond in a way. It doesn't mean because there's like a fucking figure that's not to be seen that's causing it to happen. In the same way, these people, like, he waves his jacket, they actually drop to the fucking ground. I'm sure 90% of them aren't fucking faking it. It's not because them dropping to the ground is fake. It's because you're caught up in the moment.
Yeah, and they really believe it.
It is.
They really believe it.
And so you're in it. So, I mean, that experience itself it comes down to the individual. Like, in the same way,
that's
I
more like
could
the power
stand
of the
there.
mind to me.
It is. Like, it is. It definitely is. And, like, I could sit there and stand in the front row, waves his jacket at me, and I'm looking around behind me like
what the fuck's happening, dude?
Like, holy shit. You know what I mean? So what? He just, like, skipped over me because I wasn't as involved in it as they
Dude,
are?
I remember I went to church with my aunt and up in Winston-Salem when I was in middle school. I will never forget this dude. I'm sitting in the front row of the pews, and this motherfucker gets up, just starts sprinting laps, and then he came up in front of the stairs and was like, it looked like he was doing the worm. He was like flopping like a fish, dude. And I looked over at my aunt. I'm like, Aunt Cherry, what's going on with that guy? She was like, oh, he just caught the Holy Spirit.
Exactly.
I was like,
dude,
they did it at our church.
They
did it at our church. Hey, listen, they did it at our church. Me and Cindy called them the Formula Church of God track team.
Bro,
because they just take Ace, like something happens,
they caught
we're
the
running,
Holy Spirit.
we're fucking running. Like,
I'm
right
like,
now.
Listen, if that's catching the Holy Spirit, I never want to catch that.
If that's the thing, if you're fat,
sorry,
you're not a good Christian, because the Holy Ghost hadn't fucking made you run. Hey, the Holy Ghost hadn't made that ass run yet, because if you're running like that, it's like, yeah, if that's the case, every person would be like praying at home and just hitting a treadmill right after.
Fucking caught that holy hit.
No shit, like you'd be watching and like they'd be singing songs or whatever, and next thing you know, you got like 6 people just going up and down the aisles through the pews, hands.
We had a crowd.
There's
people running fucking half Ks.
People speaking like tongues and shit, and you're just like, what?
See, that's the one thing that I've always thought was
on?
weird though. When you see people like will go up and like speak again, like we were like when I grew up, I went to like a Pentecostal church, which is way more like extravagant than like a Baptist church where everyone's like sitting there like being calm and collected. It's like way more like in your face.
And for anybody listening out there, we're not trying to be disrespectful or anything. We're just speaking our viewpoint on it. If you want to go to church, you know, that's fine and good.
You believe what you want. There's no hate, no
dude,
nothing.
The view itself, I mean, I have nothing against the fact that it makes you that you want to live your life according to our ideals. It's awesome. It's sick. There's a lot of good in it, but like I feel like you still like have to see it for what the fuck it is in its own way. Because like even an atheist can be morally sound.
It is refreshing to go to church and hear something good every week. You know, when you go through your week and hear just a bunch of bullshit, like whether it be news or whatever. You know, it's not bad for people to go to church, just hear something refreshing. Because that's what church should be. Instead of all this bullshit you hear at church now.
Dude, church should be positive, man. You should be hearing you should receive a positive message or be able to take away something positive and beneficial to put into your life.
I mean, a lot of churches you go to now, you won't even hear scripture. You'll just hear
stories and experience and like
exactly. I don't like
that. And that's kind of how it is. Like even with like when they when they'll read like
Psalms. Be religion,
but then
definitely do scripture.
But then I battle with that too. Like whether it be scripture based too, because a lot of the Bible I feel like has been so.
Could you hand me my chapstick tied by your feet?
My opinion on the Bible, I agree that the Bible has a lot of there, and principle based, it's very good and has a lot of the right things there. But it's been translated down so many times. So think about all these pastors. They go to college. Think about all the pastors that have gone to college and they learn the content of what is inside the Bible, but they don't even know the origin of it or where it came from or where it was handed, what book was handed down from where. Yeah, we know the apostles Matthew, Mark, Luke, John wrote this book, but I'm talking
But it's like-
origins
but my
of Bible,
thing is, dude,
No, the
translations. There's so
the
much
thing
that
is
goes
what
into
the
it
Bible
that's
was not written in
unreal, dude.
English. So no one truly
yeah.
like it was translated through so many languages to get to the English version, and you gotta wonder how many of these different words didn't have the same meaning in that other language, or when you got to a word that didn't have a translate, like there was no translation for it. I remember like years ago when I went like just going down dumb YouTube rabbit holes like most people do. I got to this one and this guy was talking about the Bible. And he was talking about the devil and Satan, and he was talking about the lies of Satan. And he was like, in the Bible, the word Satan is never capitalized unless it's at the beginning of a sentence. And he said, in fact, the word Satan isn't even pronounced as Satan. It's a Greek word pronounced as Satan. Yeah,
I've heard
it's
you say
pronounced
this
Satan.
before.
Dead
All right,
serious.
keep going though.
It's pronounced Satan, and the definition for it is an opposing force. So when it talks about like Jesus faced Satan, Jesus faced Satan or Satan, it's Jesus faced Satan, an opposing force, and whatever he was doing. He said, so the direct translation saying like, oh, he faced Satan, this one being. He said, if that was the case, why is it not is Satan not capitalized in the middle of sentences? And people in the Bible was like, well, they don't want to give the devil credit or whatever, blah blah blah. He said, if that's his name, if that's what you're referring to, if that's a proper noun, it's going to be capitalized. Yeah, that's
evil is real, but
Well,
the
dude, I
devil's
think
a lie.
in the
That
same
song's
way-
that song's dope.
In the same way, you say like when they want to talk about like Jonah getting eaten by the whale, and then he like shows up on the beach. Like my thing is
Probably didn't
like,
happen, but it
ultimately,
was
my
a
grandma-
metaphor.
Exactly. That's my point. But like even and I try,
It was a metaphor.
but dude, I try to make this point with my grandma. I try to make this point with my grandma. That's like she's like, no, I mean that probably didn't happen. It's about the meaning behind it. It's like okay. We agree that he definitely didn't get eaten by a whale, stay inside the whale's stomach, and get spit up on the beach. But you can't be a fucking choosy believer. Like if you believe it, you can't say like, oh, he didn't get eaten by the whale, but his name was goddamn Jesus. You know what I mean? Like you can't say I don't.
goddamn
You
Jesus
can't.
together.
It's true though, but you can't say like, listen, that's
You're going to hell, dude.
You can't say like that's not true, but that, however, is motherfucking true. And if you
Listen,
don't believe
listen.
it, you're going to hell. Like
He didn't get
that's
eaten
the
by a
difference.
whale.
It's the difference.
But
Like,
a snake did talk to Eve and told them to eat that apple.
that my thing is it's like it's a bunch of half truths. Like they believe when it's convenient and fits the narrative of what it is, but like that is like autonomically it's not fucking possible. So it's like, all right, so that didn't happen, that's not true, but like the fucking like he walked on water, like all right, that's fucking true though. You know what I mean?
That's
It's different,
fucking
man.
true,
Like you
dude.
pick and choose what the fuck you want to believe out of it because it fits your fucking narrative.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like gets me. It's like there's like you can't have this undenying faith in the fact that his name was fucking Jesus.
Yo,
that,
hey,
like-
you
and
want
then,
to say
like,
goddamn,
and then,
dude.
like, his name was Jesus, and I'm gonna live my life according to it because his name was Jesus. But Jonah, that son of a bitch didn't get eaten by the whale. Like
Muhammad,
just-
that
you
motherfucker.
can't pick and choose what the fuck. Like you either believe it all, or you're open to the fact that it's different and interpreted different, and it's been translated into different views. Like what's his name? Like Jesus translated between cultures. His name could be fucking Jonathan. I mean, his name could be fucking.
Jesus.
I mean, it could be Bill. You know what I mean? Like Jesus could be something completely.
Who knows,
So like
man?
that. And my entire thing is that's why it doesn't matter what the fuck you call it, as long as you believe in the fact that's just what the end game is. And
Yeah.
it's like- in the same way we've talked about it too. Like I don't think heaven and hell is like you go to a fucking fiery pit in hell. Like
Yeah.
I think that like heaven and hell is like your own perception of what the fuck it is. Like hell for me wouldn't be what hell would be for you if it's even something like that. Like say hell for me is like I relive this one moment that I fucking regret my entire life and I just relive it over and over again. Rather than like maybe for someone you do burn in a fiery pit because that's fucking god awful and like you know what I mean that'd be miserable as shit. But the point is,
Yeah,
like,
I just look at
just
that
like
as a
heaven.
scare tactic.
It is, and like you can't like when you die, you go to pearly gates, and like that's what. Like, what if heaven for me is I'm sitting in the field with a bunch of flowers, and there's a bunch of strippers all around me. You know what I mean? Now I'm in heaven. That's like the fucking was it 60 virgins or whatever, and
72 virgins in Islam.
I mean, dude, look at it this way. Like,
Come
what,
on,
what if you have an opportunity to invest in a strip club that will just make you millions of dollars and be able to provide for your family,
I'm taking
friends,
it.
everything, and you just
I'm doing
don't
it.
and you
I'm,
just
for
don't do
$17
it.
million, I'm stripping.
You,
I'm-
you have the opportunity to provide for all these people, make all these people's lives better, but because and that's immoral to you because you're a Christian, you just don't take the opportunity. It's just shit like that is so unbalanced. to
Yo,
me,
so you're
but
talking about
I
like
don't know,
personal
man.
hells and stuff. Have you ever heard of the idea
Personal hells, that's a good one.
have you ever heard the idea that like this is hell? Like the world we're living
Mike,
in is
the
hell?
Alsa sex tape got exposed. I was cracking
Yeah,
up.
I
on
was
that
fucking
shit,
good. LA knew before I was even saying it because he like texted me.
I said it was like,
"Yeah,
link.
fuck
Send me the link, dude. Send me the
with him."
link.
And I'm gonna fuck with him for a little
Dude,
bit.
when you and Mike were going back and forth, and Mike was like, "No way," I was reading that, and I was like, "Mike, why are you even biting on this?"
He told me.
If you're
Dallas
listening
is-
right now,
Dallas
why were
is-
you even
Dallas's
biting
exact
on
words to
that?
me were, "Yo, I'm just seeing. I'm just trying
Like,
to fuck
Mike-
with Mike and see how long I can make this
He
go."
was actually skeptical. As soon as I saw the picture you sent, I was like, "That's fucking spam." But Mike actually bid on it.
Alexa,
That's why- that's why
Alexa
I-
Ashcraft's the one who fucking sent
When
it.
I saw,
Alexa
like-
Ashcraft, she cares about me.
I was just like,
that-
send the link, dude. Link it.
That sounds
He
like,
says
come on.
I
Like
never
it.
bit. He fucking.
fucking
I never bit.
Dude,
Separate
Wallace-
message at all.
Dude,
He
listen,
fucking bit it.
He
dude.
can say
he
he wants.
fucking bit at
If
it.
if I really would have kept it up, I could have got Wallace to bite too. Wallace was in it. Wallace would have been fucking
You
fully
queased
loud.
it, Austin.
And for those, I guess like to get some context to it, I got like a messenger message through Facebook. It's some girl that like they found OD'd on heroin in a bathroom in fucking Walmart. And she sent me a message. She was like, "Yo, you gotta check out this video. Like, it's like holy shit." And like the video was titled "Fuck Dallas Trolls"
with like 500,000.
yeah, with like
views.
560,000 views. And I mean, in my mind though, like my first instinct's like definitely
Panic.
spam.
Oh,
But
for a split second,
but,
you're
like,
like-
if your heart doesn't jump, like I've done some
Anybody.
fucked up shit in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Like I could very well have a video out
Yeah.
there of some dumb shit.
For a split second, anybody, if that doesn't make your
Oh,
heart jump,
hey, you
then
click,
you
you
just
click the link
you
and it
don't have
goes
a
to a
soul.
page you have to log into your Facebook. I was like, this is so clearly someone trying to get you to log into your Facebook on their account that they fucking can see your password and
Dallas
username.
is straight mental.
Mental.
He's like,
that
Dallas
dude,
is
Mike's
being
on the
mental,
mental.
Dude,
shit
I
right now.
remember a couple years ago, I don't remember the exact context of the situation, but Mike had this guy on Snapchat, and for some reason he got me and this other guy mixed up or something, but this guy accidentally posted something on his Snapchat. He could say it better than how I'm saying it, but this guy accidentally posted a picture with like his dick in his hand or something, and Mike, I don't know.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Full fledged video of me jacking off.
No, and the guy like instantly deleted it, but somehow Mike mixed it up with me because I remember he texted me or something, was like, "Yo, did you post that on Snapchat?" And I was like, "What?" I was so confused. I was like, "Did I even jerk off today?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
Dude, I always-
I was like, even then
Did I
I was
jerk
like,
off
I was
with
like, "Holy
Snapchat
shit,
on?
did I post something on Snapchat?" And then later on, he said, "Haha, he posted a dick pic on Snap." On the story and had no idea, and it was I guess it was some guy that Mike has on Snapchat. I don't know how he got it mixed up with me, but even when he told me that, I just remember thinking, I was like, holy fuck, was I watching porn and I just like accidentally like
Dude, I always
Left your
have.
Snapchat
I have
on?
the same thing.
I was like, oh my
because
god,
I've always like because you always know.
I'll
like,
never forget that because it
always-
scared the fuck
oh,
out
it's
of
scary,
me.
dude. Like Mike always
Scared
texts
the
me.
shit out of me, dude.
Like not too long ago, like Pocket posted a bunch of bullshit tweets on Twitter, and like
You
I posted
did.
a picture and stuff too.
Dude, Dallas
and
did.
Mike texted me, he's like, "Yo, you're
Pocket
just like tweeting on Twitter right now," and I always do
I
that
remember
shit.
that, dude.
And dude, my thing, like, it scared the fuck out of me because I could easily hit some bullshit and
Oh
post
my
it,
god!
like,
What if he puts like a nude of a
Oh
girl
my-
or something?
oh my
dude?
fucking
Your life
God.
would be
Dude,
ruined.
that's
dude.
what I'm saying, man.
Your life
And, like,
would be
ever since
ruined.
then-
over, dude.
ever since then, like, it's like an irrational fear of mine that I like Pocket.
Oh,
post some
Mike
crazy
says
shit.
that he had a similar name to me. It was like Jakey Bear 01 or some shit. Mine's
Why do you
like
have
Jakey
two
Bear
friends on
10.
Snapchat named Jakey Bear?
Yeah,
Why
that's a
is
good
your
question.
name Jakey Bear?
All right, so I don't think this will ever trace back to her. So back in high school, when me and Carly Long were like fucking around or whatever, she came over to my house one time, and I was like on Instagram and everything.
Wait,
but she was
Freddie's
like, "Do you have
sister?
Snap?" Yeah, she was like, "Do you have?"
hot. She's
She was
hot.
like, "Do you have Snapchat?"
Yeah,
and
she
I was
was
like,
hot,
"No,"
dude.
and she was like, "All right, I'll make it for you," and she just made a Jakey Bear.
See, I remember when
And it's been that way
when
ever
Will
since
Ford was
then.
trying, like, did Will Ford fucked around with her for a while.
Yeah, Carly's hot.
But I remember when, like, Will, it was funny because I ate lunch with, like, Will and Freddie for
Oh,
a
it
while.
was on
and, like,
Cat's.
Will
It was
was
on Cat's
fucking
Snapchat.
with Carly.
She had somebody
And
else.
eating lunch
I
with
know.
Freddie. And Freddie brought up, like, Will, why the fuck you hanging out with my sister? And Will was like,
Dude,
dude, Freddie, I don't know,
he doesn't
man.
give a
Like, she
shit,
wants to
dude.
hang, dude.
He's engaged to Elena Gillis.
Yeah, I know. It's
Dude,
weird.
they've-
Everybody's
they-
getting
Will think
fucking
they were
married.
shit, dude.
That's so fucking crazy.
Dude, I remember when I was dating Abby for like 2 fucking years. Me and Will went to the pool one day and we were just swimming in the pool and he was like, yeah, I'm hanging out with Abby tonight. And I was like, dude, that was my girlfriend. Like, you don't fucking do that. And he was like, dude, it's cool. And I was like, no, fuck
No,
you.
Will
I was
doesn't
about
give
to-
a fuck.
I was about to fight him. I was like, was like, yeah, I'm about to hit you in your fucking
Yeah,
face.
it's honestly
you're
funny
not.
as fuck that he was like, listen, like, I am hanging out with that.
At
No,
least he was
no,
up front,
no,
dude.
but it
He
wasn't
like-
even like that. It was like he just didn't see the like.
He didn't
problem
see
with
the
it.
problem.
Like he
He didn't see the
legitimately,
issue.
Which is fucked. Which is
like
fucked.
like in
Yeah, but
his
he was
mind, he
honest with you,
legitimately. No, it wasn't like he was trying to be honest with me. He like
was just letting you know he
legitimately
was
did
hanging out
not
with it.
see the. No, it. I'm telling you, I know fucking Will, and it was not like that. Like it wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna let you know. It was like, yeah, I'm chilling with that. Like, who gives a shit? He was like, dude, fuck that girl. You don't really care about her. And I was like, dude, I just dated that girl for like 2 fucking
yeah,
years.
yeah,
Like
who's-
it's not.
who's OG
like,
Berkeley?
you're not understanding. That's weird.
That's weird.
It was one of those things.
Dude, that's how you know he's gang. He's got the OG in his fucking.
Cancer night over Blops. I don't know, bro. I've been playing a lot of Blops, dude.
Blops is lit, dude.
There's just so much shit to do on Blops, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I
shit.
hate
to do
that I
on
can't play with
Blops.
any of you guys because you guys don't want to come to the dark side with me and play on a good
Pristine,
console.
thanks for following the Breaker Box.
Damn, Preston.
Welcome to the
God.
box.
Finally, dude. late
Welcome
the
to
game.
the
Dude, we had
box.
to work for that one. That was a hard follow to get.
Mm-hmm.
How did Mike know that we're fucking casting?
Dude, he checks
he
Twitch,
probably,
dude.
He probably.
He checks
I'm
Twitch.
hosting us, so he probably went through my stream.
I think I'm hosting us too.
Yeah.
I'm hosting this.
Do you auto host me?
I think so.
Okay, because whenever I get on, I automatically have like one viewer, and I assumed it's you.
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
assumed
sure
it's
I
you,
auto-host
like
you.
auto hosting me. Okay, hell yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm a host.
That always helps me out. I'm like, all right, I got an extra viewer. Yeah, let's go. Stop.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna host the homie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to go to Best Buy tomorrow. I want to get that capture card so I can start.
Dude,
start
you need
streaming.
to, yeah.
I'm not gonna have a cam for a while, but
Because we can do
I'll
like
go no
co-streams
cam.
and shit.
I'll go no cam, and I can also freaking put an overlay on.
Well,
so at least it's
also,
I like how you promote the breaker box on your overlay, but we do need to work on that.
Yeah,
we need to
yeah.
get a cleaner one. We need to
Yeah,
sit
I-
down-
do
we
you
need to
talk
sit
to your
down and do
chat?
some-
Like when people talk to you, you
Dude,
interact?
ask,
Well,
hey, listen, I'm in his chat all the time just talking shit, so he's just talking to me. People will
Because you
people-
gotta interact with the chat. You gotta
People will
interact.
talk and like compliment his gameplay, and I'm just sitting there roasting him.
dude, last night was sick as fuck. When I had 18 viewers, like I had a bunch of like random people coming in, and one kid was like, "Yo, what keybinds do you use onto your controller and shit?" And I was like showing him like that part's cool as fuck. Because if I can get like a lot of people like that, then that's the thing. If those people come in and just like care about my Xbox gameplay, then they'll give a fuck what we're saying on the podcast.
Yeah.
Is the way I look at it.
You
Yeah,
should.
I
Do you
try to
auto
get
host?
as
Do you host the breaker box on your podcast?
Yeah.
Or on your?
Yeah, but also the auto hosting feature on Twitch is kind of weird because it doesn't like you can rank people, but it doesn't show. It doesn't have numbers beside it or anything. So I don't know. Like I had to go upstairs and put on the auto host. It's fucking weird. I'll figure it out, but
We can fool around with it. I know how to do it.
Mike said I'm getting Blops next Friday if it doesn't fit.
Yo,
out
hold up, time out.
Dude,
time
it's
out.
not gonna
Why?
fade out by
Why
next
don't
Friday.
you just game share with Mike for a week so he can try it out and play it?
I game share with Tim, and we have a lot of we've
Fuck
spent a
Tim.
lot.
My game
Fuck
shares
Tim
with
for
me.
a
Mike
week.
get
We
it.
have a lot of money spent on games together.
Fucked him for a week.
I
Dude.
game share with Mike.
Nah, I
Mike
can't
buys
do
the
that
fuck
with
out of
Tim.
games too. I got every game Mike's got. I ain't
Dude,
never
I
playing it,
spent
but,
so
like,
much
I got
money
it.
when we were living with Tim, and Tim just spent
Or
over
dude, hey,
$100.
Preston, if you're still in
Blops
here and you don't game share with
Red Dead
anybody,
together.
game share with Michael so he can try out Blops for a week, and then after a week, change your password so that motherfucker can't get it, and then he has to buy it
How
because
many
he's gonna
people
like
can you
it.
game share with?
When he
One,
plays,
two?
once he plays
What?
Blackout,
How
he's
many
gonna
people?
buy it.
Just one.
I don't
person.
think Mike will be down for like multiplayer because he's more Halo-esque. But the time to kill is longer, which is similar to Halo, and he'll.
You say
fuck
you don't
with
think
Blops.
he'll be down for what?
Multiplayer. I think he'll like Blops, but he won't just like. Or I think he'll like Blackout, but I
Yo,
don't think
how
he'll
can
like
how
actual
can Black Ops do a
Why?
fucking?
Because Michael is diehard Halo, and that motherfucker's nasty.
Yeah, but
I'm gonna
Halo
gas
has
you up
the
right
same
now.
type
I'm gonna
of,
gas you up right now, Michael. That motherfucker was nasty at Halo, and he was never a Call of Duty fan. That Call of Duty was not his
But it's
scene.
the same type of gameplay.
Nah, Halo's more of a skilled shooter than COD. COD has auto aim. Halo didn't. But that's not the point. The point was COD had a faster time to kill than Halo did. So like you could just die on some like bullshit. Halo, like if you were gonna kill somebody, like you had to hit your shots. You had to be on your shit.
Yo, how can
So-
Preston, I game share with BZ. I wonder how many games that motherfucker's buying.
So my thing is like
easy?
Mike
Brandon.
might be more into this one because the time to kill is longer. So it's kind of Halo-esque.
Yeah.
Versus like, oh, I just
I
shoot you a
miss
couple
Halo
bullets.
5,
Yo, how did
dude.
Dude,
COD
Halo was fun as fuck.
How,
I
did
love
COD, how does
playing.
COD do the battle royale now thing
Oh,
now
dude,
and
it's
not fuck with
filthy.
and not fuck with Fortnite? Because isn't that Fortnite's like
Like
What do you
how
mean?
do they not?
mean?
How are they not infringing on Fortnite?
Fortnite
Because
doesn't have
they-
battle.
because they
Battle
don't-
Royale is a genre, and no one has a patent on the genre. And if you want to get technical, Minecraft started it all. Minecraft started Battle Royale, but no one's gonna give Minecraft credit for that because it's
Wait,
fucking
what
Minecraft.
type of battle royale is on Minecraft?
Minecraft. So if you played Minecraft on PC, you played on servers, and you could play on a Hunger Games server, which was exactly what it was. The Hunger Games. It was a battle royale. You spawned in with like 13 people. You all spawned on platforms, and you had a center area where there's a bunch of chests and a bunch of loot, and then you had chests and loot spread out around.
And
this
there was a
vast map.
storm?
No, there wasn't a storm. It was just battle to the death.
Oh, okay.
And it was last man standing. But in Minecraft, you're gonna find people.
And
in
then
Minecraft.
what? Like H1 came out.
Is there storm
No,
on
no,
COD?
and then DayZ came out.
Oh, DayZ,
And
that's
DayZ wasn't really battle royale, but it was like an open world where like you could get somebody and you could say, all right, drop all your fucking weapons, take off your gear, walk around in your underwear, and we're gonna tie you up. And you just like tie people up and walk around, then you murk them.
Does COD have the storm? As far
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
it does.
It has,
See, my thing is
it's
that
not
it's
it's
a
not called
storm.
it's not called the storm. I'll get to that in a second. So then you had H1. H1 came out. H1 had Gas. Gas was like its big thing, and that H1 was made by Daybreak, who made DayZ. It was their pure battle royale. Then you have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which they have a storm. That's their thing. Then Fortnite also has a storm. They came out. Fortnite
Wait,
did
it
it better
said
than
no
anybody.
games but hella skins. What does he mean by that?
I don't know
No
what he's
games
talking
but
about.
hella skins. Maybe
Halo
he's talking
and
about
COD are
Fortnite because
different.
Fortnite has a lot of skins. I don't know.
I don't know. Mike. I already
Maybe
said
he's
Halo
trolling.
and
I
COD.
don't know.
No,
It's fine.
but Fortnite came out, and Fortnite honestly
Well, it's
did
always
the
trolling.
battle royale better than like H1 was great until they did the Z, what they call the Z2 update, and they updated like the movement in it, like mantling, all that bullshit, and it fucked the game up
It
completely.
made it die.
They killed their game because it was in PUBG were like neck and neck, and then they killed it, and then PUBG took off. Then Fortnite came out, and Fortnite put PUBG in the fucking ground, and then
now
Blackout
Blops has
came out,
put
and
PUBG
Blackout
in
has
the game.
put PUBG like 40 feet deep, so
Because
no one's fucking
Black
touching it.
Ops is honestly what PUBG should have been.
I'm at.
But they have a lot of
15,
they have a lot of shit to balance in Black Ops. 9 bangs.
No, but the thing is,
they
is like
need to do
you
something
gotta
about
you gotta
9
look at it
bangs,
this
dude.
way. This is the first time Activision, Treyarch, the Call of Duty franchise has tried their hands at a battle royale. It's gonna take time to get right. My worry is that Infinity Ward next year, since they release COD game every year, Infinity Ward's the next developer up, that they're gonna make a battle royale game. I don't want them to.
Yeah,
I don't want them to have that game mode. Let Treyarch have that.
they're the jetpack guys.
No,
they're
they're
the
not.
jetpack
Infinity
guys.
Ward made Modern Warfare.
They made Advanced Warfare
Infinity,
too.
no, they didn't. Sledgehammer did.
What?
Sledgehammer games started, dude. All right, Call of Duty. The first Call of Duty was made by Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward made the first one.
And they made the
then Call of Duty Modern
Modern
Warfare.
Warfares,
2,
right?
then Call of Duty
Yeah.
2 was made by Treyarch, and it alternated until you got to Modern
Is
Warfare.
that Ghost Warfare?
You're sure that Advanced Warfare wasn't made by Infinity Ward?
Jake, I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2
I've been
Big
playing
Red
it
1.
since the.
Since Big Red 1, dog.
Alright.
I'm a fucking diehard.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking.
Listen, Sledgehammer, Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer's first game. It came out right after they made Titanfall. They kept that same kind of jetpacky wall
Titanfall
running
was a
move.
bust, wasn't it?
Titanfall flopped.
It was fun
flopped
for, like,
big
a
time.
week.
Yeah, Titanfall flopped, but they kept that same kind of futuristic style and made Advanced Warfare. And when you look back on Advanced Warfare now,
We don't have
it
an F
wasn't
command, Mike.
Advanced Warfare wasn't. Yeah, no, F's in chat, dude.
Yeah, I got
F's in
a
chat.
I got a Nightbot command.
Yeah.
We don't even have a Nightbot. I have a Nightbot command that if you press F, the Nightbot says, "Can I get an F in chat?" And I set my timer like an idiot for like 20 seconds, so everybody was just fucking spamming it last
Yeah,
night.
dude, hell
Everybody
yeah.
was just hitting F,
That's
F,
lit.
F, and the Nightbot was just rolling the fuck off.
Nah, but so Call of Duty's on a
There's like
3-year
10
cycle.
people in it. It was so
Hey, the
fun.
first year of the 3-year cycle started, I guess, with what was it? Black Ops 2, made by Treyarch, and then Infinity Ward made Ghost, and then after Infinity Ward made
Treyarch
Ghost,
is zombie guy.
you
They're the
had
zombie guys.
Yo, Treyarch runs zombies. Zombies
Yeah.
is. Have you played zombies in this game yet? Fun as
No.
fuck. Fun as fuck. The Easter eggs.
It's all the same to me. Like
Still fun as fuck because you
Yeah.
got to go for the Easter eggs. You're not just playing zombies to go round count. You got to go
I
for
gotta
the Easter
piss.
eggs. Try to fight the boss. Like there's
I
actually a
have to
purpose.
too.
I'm not breaking the seal, but nah, dude. Like there's actually a
Fuck that.
purpose to that shit.
What was it? Is it the first Black Ops with the zombies that everyone really fucked with the hardest?
Oh no! Well, see, World at War zombies were okay, but Black Ops 1 zombies
that was the fucking zombies. That was like
that's the
spot.
best. My most favorite zombies ever. My favorite zombie map, Kino der Toten. That
Yeah.
shit was lit. I
Dude, because
loved
Jake
it.
and them always played the one, and the newer one. Well, I guess it was Black Ops 2 with the fire. It was like fire oriented. Is it Black Ops 2?
where you like run around the map and there's like everything's in lava almost in fire.
No, yeah, there's a map on Black Ops 2 that's like that. There's one that's like that, yeah.
And there's one that's like almost like kind of futuristic.
There's a couple like that though. That's futuristic.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is zombies became a staple in COD. Like Modern Warfare 3, they had like survival, which was Infinity Ward's take on it, where there was just like waves of people and you were just like they were shooting at you.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
it
wasn't zombies. And then when Sledgehammer dropped Advanced Warfare, they had zombies in Advanced Warfare, but it wasn't fun because it wasn't the same. And so my thing is, don't put like, and then ever since then, everyone's been putting zombies in their games. Don't put zombies in unless you're Treyarch. But now Treyarch's got Blackout. Please do not. I don't want anyone else to put a battle royale in until Treyarch's around. Because if Call of Duty really wanted, if Activision really wanted a successful game, they would put Call of Duty on a 3-year cycle, and the next game wouldn't come out until 3 years from now. And then that way you would have a battle royale that would have time to be played.
When Mike sent that to the group chat that they did the hotfix on the
did you see my first
damage?
Yeah,
oh my
because they actually
they knew they
yeah. Oh, dude, do you know how many content creators like backlash that and was like that's fucking stupid?
I can't believe that they didn't do a hotfix on the zombies because I feel like everybody.
Dude.
Oh, Dakota's made a good point. Wait, what was it? Oh, he said that. He honestly, and they were like laughing about this. They were like, maybe this is far fetched, but he believes that they put the rocket damage in because they were gonna keep it until like today or a couple days because everybody would be so pissed about it that they forgot about the glider edition, and then so like a week it reverts
the
back.
Glider,
and then
this is my thing. If I build up,
it eliminates the need for a storm.
If I build up, okay, in a build fight. And I was not meticulous and careful enough to make sure that my build had multiple points, like ground points, and you shoot out my build. I shouldn't get rewarded. Be like, oh shit, I'm not gonna die from a Great Fall anymore. I can just press my glider and glide right to somebody.
Okay, but you're saying that. So what if you're in a one-on-one and you have to get that height advantage? So you just start building up towards one person. There's only 2 ground points. So what if you're getting to a build battle? There's always scrub third partiers that come in and will just knock that shit down.
That's fine.
That's annoying.
But that's something.
But you don't have time to build ground points.
Okay. Let's go to Blobs. You're in a one-on-one with a squad, right? Your squad versus their squad, and you're shooting them. You down one. You're going for the last guy, and you just get fucking sniped out of nowhere. You're gonna have third parties in every battle royale because it's a battle royale.
Yeah.
It's 100 people on a map fighting to kill each other, but. In Fortnite, dude, you got to be wary of that. You got to understand, like, there's consequences to your build. Yeah. I think changing the idea of like, okay, well, there's consequence to your build, but if your build gets knocked down and you're up high enough, you can deploy your glider so you don't take any damage. No, fuck that, dude. Punish somebody for making a mistake.
Yeah.
Don't make it so goddamn easy for people to just hop in and play. I'm sick of that shit.
I also think that if you're already in the storm, you shouldn't be able to redeploy your glider because it eliminates the whole point of the storm.
The storm is not even scary in Fortnite anymore. There's no point to worry about running from it because all I gotta do is get to a high enough point, hop on my glider, and glide out. You
remember when you were first playing and you'd be looting for like 10 minutes and then the storm passed, you'd be like, oh fuck, because you're not paying attention. You should not be.
I'm scrapping.
You should not be able to get back after that if you make that mistake.
My point, I like what Black Ops 3 did, or Black Ops 4 did. Sorry.
Pressing his sport talk gets me hard.
Yeah, buddy. No, I like what Black Ops 4 did in Blackout with the idea of I can redeploy my wingsuit if I'm up high enough and I run and sprint. Yeah. And if I run and sprint and jump, and there's really only like 3 places on the map you can do that. If you do it, then you can redeploy your wingsuit because it makes sense. I shouldn't be able to redeploy my glider if I'm just falling down straight.
Yeah.
And now you got the fucking balloons in the game. Like, what the fuck?
Balloons are dude, the balloons don't serve any fucking purpose. Like
they'll lift you up onto stuff.
I cannot tell you how many
bounce pads back in the game.
I can't tell you how many people in the last couple of days I've just seen like floating up with the balloons and I'll just go ding 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 and just fucking knock. They're stupid as fuck, dude.
Nah, man, like if they I'd be cool with the gliders if it was you have to sprint, run and sprint and jump. But then you might as well remove launch pads. If you're gonna put that in like what's the point of a launch pad anymore?
Yeah,
there's not.
Yeah, they do. Mike was saying that the other day.
You don't need that. Like, my thing is if they're going to keep gliders in the game, launch pad's the next thing to get vaulted. I want them to do a playlist that is vanilla. I want vanilla Fortnite.
They cannot vault launch pads.
Why? You don't need them. You don't need them anymore. You have gliders.
Because dude, launch pads are just like.
Do you already have a glider? You don't need a launch pad.
If you vault a launch pad, it's the same thing as vaulting like a fucking the rocket launcher. So you just can't. It's so solidified in the game. Like I get your point, but it's so solidified.
Like, no,
I would be upset.
No,
dude.
yeah, but like
I'd be
you vaulted
so
bounce
upset,
pads.
dude.
Bounce pads were lit. Impulse nades were lit, and you vaulted them. I'm still pissed about the impulse nades being vaulted. Fuck that shit.
Yo, didn't fucking COD have the same? Didn't they add the same gun that y'all have in Fortnite with the suction cup where you can hit it and like?
Oh no, COD had COD's grappling hook.
Yeah, but isn't it the same fucking thing?
Same premise, yeah.
Like,
but the suction cup got added after the grapple gun got added after like the COD beta was already out and they already had the grappling hook in it. So that's not even a big deal. Every game's gonna infringe on each other at some point.
Are you going to take a piss?
Yeah.
All right, new topic. Let's get off video games. We've been talking about that for too long.
All right, new fucking.
What
topic.
else did we have on the list?
I mean, LA's. If he's gonna be back in a second, but me and him both have been going down the fucking alien rabbit hole like fuck.
What of the shadow government?
No, aliens, dude. Just
aliens?
goddamn aliens, man. I've been going to sleep every night.
That's the unknown. That's
dude,
the dark.
What kills
that's the
me,
dark arts.
Dude, what kills me is that the entire essence of like ufology, which is fucking already sounds sketchy. You know what I mean? It just sounds like uncredible. Like, do you know the guy named Stephen Greer?
No.
All right, so he's like he created like this thing called like the Disclosure Project, and like,
He's gone, so just talk fully.
All right, and he his entire premise was that he interviewed like a bunch of like ex-military people who had like backgrounds and shit and seen sketchy stuff. It's like a good premise because like it just gets a lot of viewpoints out there from people who like are like relatively credible. I know it's been hitting me too,
spitting, dude.
which is like a cool idea. But now he's gotten to the point where it's like he thinks that he can like he'll take people out there and charge them like thousands of dollars and take them out to a field and he'll say like they'll meditate and they'll call in UFOs. Like, come the fuck on. Like, you're not calling in a fucking UFO. It, like, discredits everything. Like, even now, like, I've, like, searched on Google, like, Stephen Greer is a fucking hack. And, like, on Reddit, it's just, like, fuck Stephen Greer. Like, oh, people just think he's bullshit now. Like, it's, like, I feel like the longer you're in it, the crazier you fucking become. Like, you remember when, like, Tom DeLonge was on JRE? Did you ever watch that episode?
I never watched that one.
So he started this thing. He's like in this group of these like ex-government type people. Mm-hmm. It's called
I just got one.
It's called like To the Stars University or something like that. Yeah. Like, but it's like the longer you're in it, you like become this fucking hack that's bullshit. And you like discredit all of it. Like like you'll see like what was his name? It's like Paul Hellner. He's like the he was for Canada. He was like the first like super PAC type government that came from the super PAC like type government that, or it's like G8 or whatever the fuck summit type thing that like came out and was like, this shit's like real. Like there's like a couple different species that we interact with. And
I feel like when a guy like that comes out, he's got enough to risk where you should kind of take it.
It is.
Like
it is, and like
semi-serious.
That's why like the whole Stephen Greer thing was cool in the sense that he got like a bunch of people to like interview and like say their experiences and stuff like that, which is sick. But at the same time, he's like a fucking bullshit con artist now. Like you can just see like when he talks. Like I've like watched like videos of him. Like he's like
legends, talking about Stephen Greer.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
a
a
con
little bit
man.
off topic, but me and Trevor watched that video about the shadow government you sent me of that CIA agent, and I would like to hear what he has to say about it.
It's pretty sick, right? I know. I would like to too.
Dude, there's a government inside the government.
Like watching that, and like he could be just a bullshit con artist, and I feel like realistically, like 90% of the people that are like involved in it are probably con artists and just like see a niche they can make some fucking money on, and just kind of where it goes. Like, but he seemed in the video, he seemed credible. But not in the way we're like, oh, like what he said is like the way it is, but like he seemed more credible in the way he
and the way he
shit
pointed out every branch of the government that is related to each other, he knows.
Dude, I'm happy you watched that. I didn't know if you were gonna watch it. Dude, that was like a pretty intense.
That shit was.
Well, I only got about an
like,
hour into it. I haven't seen the
dude, it's like there's like three different parts. It's like three fucking parts, dude. It's like three.
Yeah, I need to go back and watch it.
It's cool. It's cool because like in my mind, like I guess like you want to sit and like rationalize it, like. All the shit that he says is just, it's all within the realm of possibility because there's just so much corruption on so many levels in the system that it's like, it, you know what I mean? That's just what it is. Like,
well, the fact that he starts out, because he basically sets it off talking about each branch of the government and how they're connected, what their origin is. That's when I give that guy credit for basically coming out with that, because a lot of people, they'll just try to make bullshit claims without. He got to the very origin and point of every one of those branches.
Well,
of
it's
government.
like he came to like how they're formed, where they're formed by, and like how it has like it doesn't abide by like it wasn't created by like a Congress or like a constitutional effort that means that it's outside the realms and the reach of the Constitution. So ultimately, they have the ability to do whatever the fuck they really want to do. You know what I mean? And that's some shit like on a deeper level that's like outside of like the political spectrum. Like that shit is like within the realm of possibility. 1,000%. Like, all these people have fucking power interest in mind. Like, you can't say, like, they don't give a fuck about the fucking interests of the people. Like, they care about power and knowledge themselves. Like,
the average citizen knows that there's some sketch shit going on.
dude, I feel like you've seen that.
I wouldn't even say the average.
I feel like the average is now. I feel like you're starting to see a change in the cognitivity of, like, everyone in the United States, in the sense like no one has like the levels of like trust in the government now are like all-time lows. Like everyone knows there's shady shit.
We were talking
going on.
about religion now, but even our parents would agree that there's some sleazeballs in our government now. You know,
it is, dude.
Like we might disagree on shit like that, but everybody fucking knows.
Dude, like the entire
Everybody
idea
knows.
that lobbying in Congress is a thing. So you're basically telling me that outside money can influence the fucking vote and the view of a congressman because there's money going to your district. Like that in itself, like how there's so much shit that just defies logic. Like if you were to even think about it, just from in a logical standpoint, like that shit just doesn't seem right. Like there's too many ways that corruption can just seep in to the way that we run things. It's like, how is it something that even remotely is okay at all? You know what I mean? Like I've wanted to go because I watch a lot of Ben Shapiro now too, and I've wanted to ask him, you know, like there's a big thing with like the Federal Reserve and how it's like an outside entity that basically controls the entire fucking monetary system of the United States and like interest rates and shit like that, and how the United States runs their like economic system, like, and how it's like it's basically a bunch of foreign bankers that control economic policy in the United States. It doesn't matter what Trump or any president does. Like that ultimately is what controls economic policy in the United States. Like I wanted like, because he has like on his videos he has like a live chat where you can like talk in and like ask him questions and stuff, and I want to ask him like his views on that too, because like it just seems fucking shady, man. Like it all seems fucking shady.
It's honestly the politicians. What even power do they have really? Except they're just making the decisions. Everybody else is they have so many influences coming in at them.
Well, dude,
from
now
all
I feel like
directions.
it's gotten to the point in politics where like no one in politics represents the fucking people anymore. You only represent your own personal self-interest.
It's all about your personal
100%.
self-gain. What can you?
It
get
is,
out of
and like
this-
that's
out
what's
of
so fucked.
this.
Like I
That's
feel
all
like,
it is.
and like I'm not calling for like a revolution or anything at that point, because like everybody's like, oh, there's a revolution, but like people don't understand like the seriousness of like the lives lost, the turmoil, like the, you know what I mean? Like no,
We're
there
past-
needs to be a
we're
fucking
past
revamp
that.
of the
There's
fucking system. I'm not calling for socialism. I'm not calling for anything in that sense. I'm saying we need to sit there and take a step back and look at the way we're doing things and say this is just not the fucking way we should do it.
This isn't
like in the same
accomplishing
way, if you had a society, say you like sectioned off a city of the United States, say you just sectioned off Charlotte and made your own country out of Charlotte, and everybody in the country was like-minded, had the same viewpoint, did your thing like that, like you would see it would be so radical and that's why we've talked about it too, like in the sense like that, like the government, like no one is going to govern you better than your local government. No one can go, because no one knows the needs and the wants of your society in that local area like the local government. They know you better than the federal government does. The federal government's become so out of touch with the normal person in America and the ones, like, I wish that you could see like the United States in the same way, like, what is it? Because like Canada has like different sections, I guess, of Canada that represent Canada, or whatever, like provinces or whatever.
Provinces.
So like I would like to see it where you have like, and I feel like it would be, and isn't that what democracy is? It's just like a fucking string of just experiments.
Well, we're a republic. We're not a
Well,
democracy.
yeah, it is. So, but either way, it's like you sit there. Like I would love to see where you had like, so like everyone, the ultimate authority is the federal government. So you have like foreign policy, like shit like that. It's all handled foreign government wise. You have like a council of people that run it. Like I think the president has way too much power. Like executive orders are bullshit on any level. Left, right doesn't matter. Like one person shouldn't be able to make a fucking decision outside of the people. Just because you feel a type of way, because you politically think shit align. It shouldn't be like that.
Well, one thing that we're also seeing is a revival of people that are opposing sides, but people of Steven Crowder, Joe Rogan, all that, we're starting to see a revival of people that can have conversations, but will find common ground at some point.
Dude, libertarianism has become a fucking staple note of what America is.
But in politics, we're
Libertarianism
not
is
seeing people that can find common ground. We're seeing more tribalism, where it's just about your side and proving the point. Like nobody can find common ground in politics.
Like,
but a lot of that's why I love podcasts, because I just love seeing people that have conversation, but then find common ground in certain points and come to an agreement on something.
Dude,
you know?
my thing
There's
is, like,
no agreements.
You
in
see,
politics
like, all right,
at
so
all.
like the most
dude.
viewed thing in TV nowadays is like during the mainstream elections is you have like the debates between politicians who are going for the president's sake. Why are not keynote issues, hot point issues that we're battling monthly? Why is that not debated, open forum? Like, why is Fox News, CNN
Why is it
not
not a
having?
regular occurring
Why is that
thing?
not? Why
Why
are they
is it
not
only
having an
once every 4
hour-long
years?
debate between the two sides, the representative of both sides,
Because
debating
they-
healthcare, debating?
Because
yeah,
they
yeah.
bicker like children,
It
and they
is.
know if they did something like that,
It is.
everybody watching would be like, "These people are."
It is
come
exactly,
on,
and like
dude.
you should be
Nobody
able to
wanna watch it,
like
because they just
fuck,
can't. They can't.
Like
they
people-
can't be
and-
unbiased.
And
about
people would
things.
watch though. Like if you would say like, listen, like Fox News, like yo, we're having like both sides together right now. We're having an hour-long healthcare debate on debate on how we're about to handle
Yeah,
this
I
thing
think
for the
I
country.
think the viewership
People
of the
would
people
watch.
actually would be.
People would watch. People
would
want to
watch.
know. People want to know, and like that's
But the
why I
idiots
thought
they have up on their platform.
it is, and
You
but I
would
mean,
have to
but,
get the
but does
right
it not
people
does it
up
not
there.
force the change though? Because you can't
Yeah.
put an idiot.
You would have to.
Like you
have
gotta
to
put
get the
people,
right people up
in the
there
same
that are
way
very
you gotta get
knowledgeable
people
on what
exactly
they're
like the same
doing.
way like you have the right maybe like Ben Shapiro's not in politics or anything like that, but like say you have Ben Shapiro debating his side on abortion or whatever it is, regardless of his viewpoint on it all because he's against it, but like.
But they bring actual facts
You
to the
need
table.
knowledgeable people
Yeah.
on stage in front of a massive audience that people would tune in. I mean, if you think like education reform, healthcare reform, all that stuff, like that should be debated monthly on the fucking political spectrum on national media, and it should be televised.
yeah.
Like this is the debate that decides.
I'd
our
go watch
policy.
Fox News or
Dude,
CNN. if
people
they
would
did
watch
that.
the fuck out of it
Yeah.
because it brings the problems not to the fucking Congress, to all these people, but it brings it to the American people. It brings it to the viewpoint of the everyday citizen, and people would be way more involved than they are because people feel so just disenfranchised.
You
now.
have
They feel
that to a
disconnected
degree.
from
You
what
have
it
that to a degree, but if you see it on Fox News, they'll have somebody on, and you just see them roast them. They'll be completely disrespectful.
It is.
How many times have you seen somebody on national
And
news?
you
They
go
bring
on-
them on Fox News.
Well,
or
they bring them on.
CNN,
It's like a
and
and they
fucking
just
witch hunt.
yeah,
but
exactly.
on every
It's
channel.
every MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, whatever, they're gonna bring somebody from the opposing side, and they're going to absolutely light them up.
Oh,
they're gonna light them
100%.
up and
Like,
roast
I would
them
love
and
to see it- I would love to
diminish
see
their
it
ideas and their
that you could get the country and you could take it into like Southwest, North or Southeast, Northeast. You know what I mean? Midwest. You have sections and like. Those particular areas can govern themselves, not in a way that's outside of the Constitution, but in a way where they govern themselves on infrastructure, local policy, stuff like that. And it's basically like a big fucking experiment nationwide to see which way of policies, and ultimately they're going to be different because the people in those areas just don't think alike. You know what I mean? In the same way, like Southeast is predominantly Republican, out west in California is predominantly liberal.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like I feel like you could see these sections of United, and like they all answer to the federal government and like foreign policy stuff like that. Like things outside of the internal things of the country are handled by this power. But you could have representatives from each fucking channel come in and put viewpoints out there and make decisions. But you could sit there and have a bunch of experiments in a way to see govern yourself the way you want to fucking govern yourself, and that's perfectly fine. And see the way it works out, and then you can go there and you can merge all of it into something that's best for everybody. Because at this point, like that's why libertarianism has really come across and really come to a point now where it's starting to get way more mainstream. Because people are done with big fucking government deciding your bullshit, who don't give a fuck about you, or out of touch with the everyday mindset and viewpoint of the people around. And you can sit there and you can have your local government who know you better than really anybody else is going to know you as far as on like on a big level. You know what I mean? And you can sit there and watch it play the fuck out. And like you can sit there and make changes along the way. It's not something that's set in stone. You can fucking learn from it, because right now we still govern ourselves, and it's not like it's not like a hidden in the Constitution or anything like that, but we govern ourselves in a way, in the thoughts of the way that people that they thought we should be governed 50 years ago or 200 years ago, and that is just not the way the world is a complete, like you take those people from the 1700s and you put them in nowadays, they think they're living on a different fucking planet. You know what I mean? You can't the same things that you governed yourself by then doesn't work now, because it's just a different way of living.
Personally, I do believe in like the Constitution. I do believe in what the country was founded on. I think we should always refer back to our policies and everything to the Constitution.
It's moral-based principles.
However,
It's morals,
you have to
moral-based principles.
But you have to be able to apply the Constitution to present day life. And if you have to amend it in some way without absolutely ratifying it, because I don't think you need to ratify the Constitution. I don't think we need to make crazy changes to it. I just think you have to make it more adaptable to everyday life and the time period that you're in.
Well, see,
because
I don't
200 years
But
from
you
now,
do have to be very careful with
I don't
that.
think that if you were to break it down into that system where you have all these different provinces of the United States that all function as one nationality, I don't think that at that point it's not something that you infringe on the Constitution in a way that the ideas of the Constitution are all to the side. It's more pressing issues. It's infrastructure. It's small things that really matter.
No. It's more
at.
localized issues that would
and I feel like that's what gets taken care of. And if people were saying, listen, in this area, there's say in the southeast, or if you even break it down, however big you want to break it down to, there's an area in this area that's really fucked up, and we need to make some changes. We need to make it work. We need to fix this area. You would see people come to fucking together because they want the better for their area. And it's not that, and people would be like, oh, there'd be animosity between the different regions, and there probably would be. But in a way, in the sense of the fucking Cowboys play the Eagles, and every side's like, fuck you, but we're still the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would be like, oh, fuck the North, the same way now, fuck how, they suck, fuck them. But it's if it comes down to it, we're fucking in this together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it gives you a chance to fucking really hash out the policies that you want.
And work on your personal issues and the personal things going on.
And I feel like it makes it more personal
level.
because now people are so disenfranchised by the government because the government doesn't fucking care. Ultimately, they're about their fucking paper. And they care. That's what it is. It's about their fucking paper. That's just what it is. They don't give a fuck about Joe Blow out here doing something this policy for you doesn't work for him because he just comes from a different area. And you can make those changes. And I don't think you would see radical, crazy radical changes. I think you would see, you would see abortion debated hard in the Southeast just because it's just more of a hot put issue in the Southeast than it is for most places. Which I'm for it just because I don't think that you should be able to. Ultimately, religiously, you shouldn't be able to morality. If you could prove could prove to me that fucking fetus, that the moment of inception has a soul, I'll be the first motherfucker to tell you that should not be done. But you can't. It's too up for debate where you can't make a policy that says no, you can't do it because of theology aspect. No. If you prove it to me, because it's highly debated on when do you become a person? When do you become a person?
When does the fetus?
Is it at 8 weeks or is it fucking 12 weeks? You know what I mean? When is it? And we've talked about it a lot too. That's highly debated. If you can nail that the fuck down, I'm behind you all the way. But you can't create policy that governs people.
If someone shoots a pregnant woman, it's a double homicide, whether she was a day pregnant.
There's definitely. There's a lot of bullshit and there's a lot of unfair shit that you see going down. I think the way divorces work is bullshit.
The fact that bullshit. Man gets fucked.
Most of the richest women in America, their money is from divorce. It's not because they're self-made people.
Did you listen to that podcast too?
Yeah, it resonated. And it's just true. The whole there's a lot of unfair type shit that just goes on because you just wanted generalize over the entire population. There's just too many differences of people.
$200,000 to support my lifestyle.
You could sit there and there would be differences in area, taxes would be different. Things would be different, but at the same time, your area itself would prosper in a way, and you would see different areas.
Improvements across the board.
You would because people see oh, this is working for them and this is not working for us, so let's adopt and change.
Maybe this will work for us.
You would see a change in ideology because of that, which I think would be sick, and I feel like it allows people to grow through the negatives, which is way more impactful than just saying, oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. No, it'd be what you're doing is not fucking working. It's obvious that it's not working. This is what's working. So, it puts some people in fucking power who can fucking adopt some changes. And I feel like what it would come down to, and at the very end of things, I feel like it would kind of come to more of a merge of ideology rather than the bigger separation that I feel like we're seeing now in America. Because right now the left's getting more left, the right's getting more right, and there's which is a very small percent of the population
and then we're stuck out here in the middle, what the?
Which is 80-something percent of the United States.
That's why all these conspiracy theories are coming out of the woodworks because they keep saying they just want to see us more divided. And as much as I don't want to believe it,
the thing is that's the truth.
Every country in the world wants America to eat itself alive.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
That's just the reality. So you don't think China's rubbing their fucking hands together it's getting worse. Russia's not That's what they want. They want turmoil. They want turmoil.
They're all playing the Friday Night Poker game. Yo, man, you see what America's doing?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Splitting up,
ultimately, no one.
We're
the only country. I feel like we're the only country in the world that puts other people's interests ahead of our own fucking personal interests.
But we're also the only country in the world that everybody roots against.
It is, but it's
only
because
everyone
everybody
else
wants someone on
gets.
top to fucking fall.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But at the
true,
same
but,
time, but at the same time, Russia wants to be the fucking best. China wants to be the fucking best, and they're gonna do whatever the fuck it takes to be that. We're the only people who put other people's interests ahead of our fucking own interests.
Side note: when you talk about Russia and China, there's a book. I got to get the title of it. It talks about the biggest superpowers in the world, and Russia, China, and the United States are talked about. But then it talks about the fourth superpower. Do you know what country they considered is going to be the fourth superpower? And it's more of on an economic stance.
You're talking about like the Swedish countries?
No.
Good, because they pay 60%. Everybody's like, "Oh, socialism works."
No.
First of all, they're based on
they don't
capitalism,
work.
and they
Those
also
don't
pay
work.
60% fucking taxes.
No.
But they want to be like, "Oh, Norway and Sweden, all them like, oh, they're great countries." Like, no, there's sons of
They're
bitches
not
paying
even
60%
socialist.
tax.
There's no no.
They're socialism
They have socialistic ideas, but
based
they're
on
not
capitalistic
Yeah.
fucking.
But no, the fourth superpower that I gotta get the title. I'll get it by next podcast. India. The guy. I mean, he goes in depth about it, and he's got a lot of facts backing up about India being the next great superpower from an economic standpoint because of jobs and things coming out of that within that country. He said, "No, granted, there's parts of it that are super poor."
Imagine going to war on a fucking elephant?
No, he's not talking about military. He's talking about just pure
just
economics,
saying,
and that type of thing.
Yeah, but think about it in the same way. And I haven't seen it, but like think about the poorest areas in India compared.
He mentions that, but that's his thing. He's like, that's the next great superpower. Is India?
I mean, I've heard a lot of stuff about India.
Like his whole idea is if they keep on the same path that they're going, your superpowers, he ended up saying like China's eventually gonna fall off. He said you're gonna have the United States and Russia are always gonna be the top, and then you're gonna have India, right?
Why isn't there a goddamn superpower in Africa? They've been around the longest of everybody.
I wonder
but it seems
why,
like everywhere
dude.
in Africa just fucking squabbles amongst themselves.
Dude, because
greed and kills each
Wakanda
other.
we haven't discovered yet, man.
I'm saying like, it's just.
We haven't discovered Wakanda yet.
There's just like a lot of things that I feel like are not like it's the same way that podcasts have become so popular like across the spectrum because open-ended, lengthy conversation is what people want. People don't want edited, chopped, and fucking screwed 10-minute video of someone beating the fuck out of somebody and taken out of context. They want the entire argument. They want the entire argument. Like that's what like I feel like the next step of podcast in the way the way that you've seen it grow is that open-ended political form of open debate.
Will never happen on television.
Like fuck. I mean, you can tune in to like when Congress is adjourned and talking shit like, but fuck that.
It
dude.
might.
It's not televised in the way it's not.
Let's start that.
It might.
Breaker Box is open. We gotta get.
But the way it goes with anything,
on Twitch, stream it to YouTube. Like
the way it goes with anything though, it might go to television, but they'll have a golden age of that, and then it'll just turn to shit.
Dude, it won't ever make it to television.
I mean, it's all going.
It's all going to be divided up.
It's all going. I mean, TV in itself
Too
is
much
on the
advertising.
TV in itself is on the fucking way out.
YouTube is taking
It's
over.
all open source.
YouTube is taking over TV.
Oh, dude, they're all monopolies in the sense. Like, where the fuck do you go to watch a video outside of YouTube? I wouldn't even know where to fucking begin.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude,
Facebook,
Google
Google,
has videos
you know what I
and
mean?
shit.
All of it, dude. I see that Facebook has Google has a feed now.
I
When you
hang
go to
out
Google
on the
page.
bird, dude.
Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, these things govern and they hold monopoly over open discussion across the fucking board everywhere.
Dude, just wait for the Tesla app, dude.
But honestly, how do you reverse that? Who creates another app, internet site where you go and look for videos and it can even compete with YouTube? Like,
I don't think that it has
That's,
to
but
like
the thing
that.
is that's the next big one, though. If someone can ever do it, that will be the next.
I don't necessarily think
But
that
also-
it gets like that. I think you just regulate the companies that are there
exactly
harder than they're regulated.
because you gotta love YouTube for what it is, because if all these internet sites are competing for that, how do you even build a following when other people are going to YouTube and you have something else?
Did you
know
see?
what I'm saying?
It was popular a while back. Like YouTube went down for like however many hours or whatever, and like the video, and like you could see like they were monitoring like internet traffic and like where it was going in other sites, and it was absurd. On like like where like there was so much like if you think about how many people were on YouTube at any given moment watching fucking videos, and then that gets cut off for a second, where the fuck do all these people
Dude,
go?
I'm on YouTube. When I go to the internet, YouTube's like
I'm on YouTube or Twitch.
Twitch and
pretty
YouTube
much.
are like
what
my
it
top
is,
two
dude.
sites.
That's what it is.
Outside of like Netflix and shit, but like Twitch and YouTube are my top.
But I mean, ultimately,
Oh, yeah.
any type of media, any type of info you're getting, it's making the change. I mean, that's why like DirecTV, all these fucking places, they're gone in the next 50 years. They're gone. They can't keep up because everything is too open source now. That you can't charge people $100 a month for fucking the History Channel and expect it to work when you can sit there and
$5.99.
stream it the fuck online for some bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix is taking the fuck off on a
Yo,
level that's just insane.
Hey,
like,
sign up for the free Hulu membership and then cancel it the day before it's supposed to renew, and then they'll send you an email with a cheaper version of their membership.
For Hulu.
Yeah.
Fucking Hulu.
It's just bullshit.
Saw that on Twitter today. I'm about to test it out.
like it's just like I feel like what it's come down to is just a bunch of fucking big money powers controlling everything that you fucking
It's
see
like what
and take
it's like
in.
what Spotify did for like music and stuff, and then forced
Oh,
Apple to
Wade
do like
followed.
Apple Music.
Wade, if you're still here, appreciate the follow.
Appreciate the follow, Brody. Respect.
Well, y'all want to end this out?
Yeah,
How long we been
That
going?
was good. We've been going for a little.
We've been going for an hour and 45.
Yeah,
shit.
solid. Hey,
Well,
appreciate everybody hanging out.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like we had to come back with a fucking strong podcast.
Yeah, had to come
to
out,
start
had
back at
guns
a new
a
spot.
blazing.
That was a
like
good one.
Like we said, we're gonna be rambling around for a little while trying to find a permanent home, but and a permanent
Yeah.
setup. But appreciate everyone stopping
Everybody
by.
stay in touch with
If
us.
you're on Twitch watching this, drop a follow. Turn on notifications if you want to know when we go live. If not, fuck it, we don't give a shit.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're watching
send
on
us a DM. Tell us to go kill ourselves. We don't
Instagram
give a fuck.
at the Breaker Box. Follow us on YouTube at the Breaker Box. Subscribe. Drop the notification bell. We'll post new videos probably like a day after the podcast is streamed on Twitch. But yeah, guys, appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Been a good
Appreciate
one.
you hanging
Peace
out.
out, everybody.
All right, we're going to end it now. Peace, boys.